first two batters, they both come in to score.
Yeah, coaches will often say you don't want to walk the first batter of an inning, and you don't want any two-out walks. They usually come around to bite you, and that unfortunately has happened to Saskatchewan here. But that was a big out. You got to get one under your belt and try to settle in defensively. Hopefully, Caitlin can continue to throw strikes, and the defense can help her out a bit.
This one's hit to the first baseman, picks it up, looks over to second base, not able to make the throw though.
That's some help you need. That was a pretty good hit ball to first base. She made a nice backhand and didn't have a chance at second, but was able to get the out at first base. So that was a nice play. Those are the plays that Saskatchewan's going to have to make. Ontario's going to put the ball in play. So Saskatchewan's going to have to be able to make, all the routine plays and hopefully some additional ones.
The shortstop sneaking in behind the runner, Waldron at second base there. Tarasov keeping an eye at second base. That pitch called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Plemondon, the other batter from Ottawa in this game. She played for Brookfield High School in the Ottawa area, and now she is at Ottawa U.
Is also a very, very good ringette player, I hear.
Yeah?
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to ask her if she's playing on the Ottawa U team. When I went out to speak with them, they didn't come in because they played an earlier game today. Even though Saskatchewan had some batting practice before the game, Ontario did not have batting practice before this game, but they came in late and they were warming up on the field, so I had a chance to talk to them just briefly. But Tess Foreman, the other Ottawa player, she does play for the Ottawa men's baseball team at Carleton. As that one is called a ball, another walk.
Well, I know Mena Florial, she's down as the trainer for Team Ontario. I know her quite well, played with her, and she told me that Liz is actually a very, very good, probably one of the best ringette players in all of Ottawa. She won't want us to say that on air.
Okay.
And don't quote me on that because I actually don't know, but this is all coming from Mena, but she is quite talented, I think.
That one's inside. Just about hits the batter, Tess Foreman. When we saw Tess Foreman, and again, I think that was 2 years ago, playing Little League, playing on a boys team, she was just a stellar third baseman on that club, a great arm at third base. And obviously we've seen that translate into a strong arm on the mound here for this team.
Yeah, this is actually a nice opportunity. Oftentimes, as a pitcher, you don't get a chance to help yourself offensively. So this is a nice opportunity here with 2 away. If she can get a base hit, might cash one. This might do it. Oh, foul.
And foul, bounces out of play. Souvenir for the fans, although I saw some signs up earlier on, and if the balls go foul, they want you to bring it over to, there's a blue tent right there. They're trying to keep those balls.
Oh, yeah.
These games have been moving by pretty quickly. There have not been a lot of foul balls in this one, and I really like how the pitcher sets quickly for their team and the defense. As this one's picked up, hit to second base, bobbles it. The throw to first to get the out number 3 in the inning, but not before 2 runs coming to score for Team Ontario. They are currently up 2-0 in this one after 1 complete inning. We'll see you back here on Rogers TV for more baseball action after the break.
Gabriel Pizza, proud supporter of local sports. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
Do you love food and discovering amazing new restaurants? Join us on Ottawa Eats as we explore some of the best and most popular places to eat in the city. From fine dining to food trucks, it's going to be delicious.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
I'm Paula Roy from Paula Roy's Favorite Foods. Catch my show each week when I'm going to share with you some of my favorite recipes to make your home cooking more fun and more successful.
Welcome back. Team Ontario up 2-0 in this one over Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has had a tough go of it in this tournament so far. The first game they played against Quebec, they lost 16-2. That was the first game in the tournament, Thursday, August 1st at 12 p.m. Their next game they played against Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's played really well in this tournament so far, but they held in really well. They lost 7-4 in that one. So this is really a must-win for both teams. And talking to Ontario coaches before this team, I was asking, because you really have to balance pitching in tournaments like this, especially when they're playing 2 games a day. And he said it doesn't matter. They need as much pitching as they can. As you see this one hit to the third baseman, bobbles it through her legs, and that's going to be an E5. And another leadoff runner gets on base for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Ashley Lawson there, she came up to bat ready to hit. Oftentimes you'll see a lot of young hitters take a first pitch or second pitch in order to try to time things up, but she was ready to go right off the bat, put it in play, put pressure on, and now is on first base from the air.
This one is bounced in front of the catcher, keeps it in front of her. Lawson, the only player in this team actually from BC. She's not from Saskatchewan, but BC doesn't have their own team, so the players are kind of teasing her before the game, saying she's adopted for this club, but they really enjoy having her on the team. She's only 16 years old. As this one's hit to the shortstop, picks it up. The throw to second base for one, on to first, and she's safe at first base. A nice turn at second base there.
Yeah, sometimes if the ball's not hit really sharply, that's hard to turn to, but obviously you want to get the leadoff hitter. Ellis had to go to her right a little bit, so that takes her away from the base at second, a little bit longer throw, which probably helps Saskatchewan runner reach first base, but a good turn nonetheless.
And called out at second base after trying to steal the leadoff runner, Paige Thompson, in the first inning out at second base. And this time, once again, this is Jocelyn Cannon trying to steal second. And there you see the tag high on her out at second base. Now 2 out in the inning here.
That's too bad. You get a couple base runners on and they're eliminated really quickly, so the tide can shift pretty fast. Tilly made a great throw down to second base, and they were able to get the tag down.
That one hit right back to Tess Foreman. We know that's no trouble for her. She's got a great glove as she underhand tosses that one to first base to get the out. Easy going here for Tess Foreman early on in this game.
You know what, though? Good things from Saskatchewan. They're up there. They're ready to hit. They're picking pitches that they're making contact on. They have base runners, so that's outstanding. They want to keep being aggressive. They want to keep putting balls in play. That's the name of the game. Tess is going to throw strikes, so they got to be ready to hit. And obviously they had base runners. Unfortunately, they weren't able to move them around. They were pretty aggressive. Maybe they'll make some adjustments, but they did have base runners on both innings, which is a good sign for Saskatchewan.
So before this game, normally it's Point Streak that we follow games on when we're covering the Ottawa Champions games. In this case, it is Game Changer that we're doing this on. So I'll be trying to keep track of the pitch counts for you. I don't know if I heard that right. Did she actually throw 3 pitches in that inning?
Well, the first batter hit 1. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been more than 4 or 5, I don't think.
That's pretty phenomenal. When you're looking at averages for good pitchers to be able to stick deep into games at under 15, and a pitcher can throw 3 pitches or at least under 5 in an inning, that's pretty exceptional, and that's going to really help out this Ontario team.
Yeah, typically, I mean, every coach has their different philosophies, but in a tournament where pitching matters and pitch count matters, you certainly want to see more than a handful of pitches an inning. Typically, if the leadoff hitter swings at the first one, whether she gets out or she's on, you're hoping that the next batter is going to see a couple pitches. They were aggressive. Like I said, though, that they're going to have to hit their way through this. Tess is going to throw strikes, so I don't mind the approach, but sometimes it might backfire if she's only asked to throw 4 or 5 pitches an inning.
I spoke with Joe Florio before this game and just asked him about that balancing of the game, and he said they really have to win. They're looking at this one game at a time and hoping to run the table the rest of the tournament now, and they're not worrying about tomorrow. They have to worry about today. So if Tess Foreman can get through this game with a low pitch count, this is really going to preserve the pitchers for this team and really help them out further on in the tournament.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're looking to capitalize on all opportunities, and whether that's at the plate or on defense. So Tess obviously just wants to throw strikes and let her defense do the work. But if she can keep that pitch count low, then that's just an added bonus for sure.
That pitch called a strike to the batter. 2 balls and 1 strike now the count.
Sometimes I wonder if there's some pre-scouting going on by the coaches. Ontario has a lot of very good lefty hitters, so I wonder if Tarasov was scheduled for this game, based on early thoughts, or if they were chasing a lot of lefty-lefty matchups.
Okay. Julia Joudin on at first base, and once again, the leadoff hitter gets on base in every inning. This time it's the walk to Julia. That brings Amber Flanagan to the plate. First pitch low and outside. You mentioned before with that lefty on the mound, it's tough to get that big lead from some of the speedy runners at first base who are maybe looking to capitalize and get into scoring position.
Yeah, I mean, certainly if you're going on a lefty, you're typically going first move. So it doesn't necessarily matter. Julia's certainly a power hitter. She's not known to steal a lot of bases, so I'm not sure they're looking to have her steal second base, but certainly getting a good lead, trying to get a good secondary for any balls that are hit, trying to break up 2, or if it goes to the outfield, going first to third. But she'll definitely take a friendly trot down to second base on the walk.
Another walk. Second inning in a row. Caitlin Tamatsugu and then Emma Carr get on with 2 walks in the first. They both scored in this one. We'll see if the same thing can happen for Julia and Amber.
We talked about Tess and Liz being from the Ottawa area, but Amber is not too far away. She grew up and still in Cornwall, actually, and her sister Jenna has been a teammate of mine for years on the national team. So that family's been around baseball for a lot of years. They have 2 older brothers that play also in the Cornwall area. So those parents have seen a lot of games under the lights, that's for sure. But it's nice that she's fairly close to home. Hopefully she's able to get some family and friends out to watch her as well.
We saw the mound conference there, just trying to settle down the pitcher in this one. First pitch, a ball. Runners on first and second, as the coach was coming off the field saying something to the first baseman as well. As this one's popped up, it'll be out of play.
He might have been telling his first baseman he wants her to play in front of the runner just in case. Thomas Hugo's obviously, she's a leadoff hitter, so if she's looking, she just squared to bunt there. So sometimes that's an opportunity for you to lay down a bunt. The third base person, she's not going to be able to charge very hard. She's responsible for any long or hard rollers. But
that one's hammered into center field. A dive, but can't get the glove. The ball in the glove. She picks it up herself, the big throw in. And the pitcher Tarasov cuts that one off. And a hit here. Runners at first, second, and third now for Ontario.
That was a great attempt, especially since Caitlin was showing bunts a little early on, just to finish my thought. So the third baseman ends up having to stay back, so they wanted their first baseman in to cover the right side of the infield, and the pitcher would be responsible for the left side. All for not needed at all, but great attempt out there by center fielder, and so close, just hit off the end of her glove.
Everyone in the infield now. First base crashing right in. Is this a potential butcher boy here, Emma Carr? Faking the bunt and then hammering it to right field?
Yeah, I have a hard time believing. Ooh. Yeah.
That one nails her right in the back. Emma Carr takes first base after the hit by pitch. That'll cash in a run on that one. Julia, the leadoff batter, comes in to score, and once again, second inning in a row, the leadoff batter gets on with a walk and comes in to score. We'll see if Amber Flanagan can do the same thing.
Not the way you want to get a ribby, but obviously Emma will take it, but she can certainly hit for some power. And And obviously no intention there, especially with bases loaded. One just got away from her, but you know, those walks, like I said last inning, sometimes can come back and bite you, and unfortunately a little bit of control problems here, and bases are loaded up again.
There's some action in the bullpen now as this one squeezed in between shortstop and third base into left field. Left fielder picks it up. The big throw in, cut off by Tarasov, the pitcher. The base is still loaded. Another run scores. That's Amber Flanagan. 4-0 Ontario.
So Saskatchewan's trying to cut down runs, obviously, so they have their infield playing in, you know, which can certainly be an advantage when balls are hit directly to you, but unfortunately it gets through the 5-6 hole there on the left side, and because the infielders are in, there's no way there's a play on that. If infield is back, maybe the shortstop has a chance at that. I'm not sure, but you know, different coaches, different approaches. So he had his team playing in on that situation. Sometimes coaches will opt to just have their corners in that can go home with the play and leave their middle infield back to try to get outs. But I think he realizes that runs are going to be hard to come by, and so he's trying to limit the amount of Ontario runs scored here.
Another conference on the mound, and this time the pitching change comes into effect. That's Ellie Kerluk that was warming up in the bullpen. She comes up on the mound now. Now, what's with the girls in behind here? Sorry, just on the knees.
Yeah,
just
that's
a bit of a conference with them right now, or what?
Yeah, I mean, you know, some of the younger teams, they often do that, just a little bit of support, and once she's ready to go after her pitches off the mound, they'll all give a quick high five and you know, remind her of how many out and how many runners on, stuff like that. Sometimes they just do that as support. Often not necessarily done at the higher levels or the older levels. Certainly not myself. I'm older than 35. If I'm taking a knee, I'm not getting up so quickly, so I wouldn't be doing that.
Number 11, Ellie. Heard you signed your life for that brand new chain. Yeah, you came with the stars, but you went straight with the game.
I think I heard that right. 46 pitches thrown by Caitlin Tarasov. So what were the rules again? We'll look at that afterwards for pitch count, but I believe that means that she has 1 day's rest. Is that...
Yeah, so interesting that they take her out at 46 and not 45, because 45 is the magic number where she can come back on no rest and she'd be able to pitch again tomorrow. But, you know, maybe the coach just thought, Tony Black, the head coach for Saskatchewan, maybe he thought that she could try to get out of it. And but 46, unfortunately, literally one more pitch gives her a day's rest. So she's not able to come back tomorrow, unfortunately. So hopefully they have some more pitching depth. But it is a game. Like, you got to try to figure out, you know, how you think they're going to do. Do you think they're going to be able to get out of jams? Do you think we're going to need her tomorrow? Well, we might not need her tomorrow. So, you know, she went 46, but he probably thought that she might be able to work her way out of this a little bit, and then just thought it might be squirting away. So he made the change. But now she's, if the pitch count is 46, if that is correct, then she's got a 1 day rest now.
I wonder too how close. There will be someone in the dugout, obviously monitoring pitch count. Who would that be, do you think?
So sometimes they give it to another player, so oftentimes another pitcher. So you'd get players to chart pitches, and it's a good way to watch the tendencies of other hitters too. So are they hitting a lot of pitches early in the count? Are they hitting off-speed pitches? Are they hitting fastballs? Stuff like that. So it is actually a skill to be able to chart pitching, and it is very valuable to teams who really like stats, and most baseball people love stats. So So it's often another pitcher, just because they'll be able to use that information probably the most. So
I wonder, because often what happens too is they'll come over and they'll check in with the official scorer behind the plate to see what the pitch count is, because they'll have their number, and you would hope it's the same as what the official scorer has down behind the plate there.
Yeah, sometimes I've been to other tournaments where they'll, like it, so 45 is the magic number, for example, for no days rest. So typically at 40, they would flash to both coaches 40. It's almost like as a little warning, like red flag, like you're 5 away at this point. And then at that point, you're hoping that, you know, your pitch counter has the same thing. And if not, you're probably calling time just to make sure you want to get on the same page, because I do find it really interesting that he pulled her at 46 pitches and not 45, and we're in the identical situation. She still has bases loaded. There's still none out. So, I mean, it could potentially be something that they're chatting about right now, or they're just making a straight-up switch and they just want to make sure that they have all the switches in play and everything's ready. But it is interesting to me that they let her go simply one pitch over. So maybe that's what they're talking about. I'm not sure.
You do think it is possible that right now they're I don't know if complaining is the right word, but suggesting that maybe she had thrown the 45 pitches?
I mean, if I'm a coach and I think I have 45, I'm certainly talking to them about that right now, because I don't want to wait till after the game to sort that out. Now the umpire is in a tough position. He's not counting, or she's not counting any pitches, but they're in control of the game. So, and I'm actually not sure the protocol if they go up to an official score. I know there's official score for every tournament, but the home plate umpire has his paper out, his lineup out, so it could simply be a lineup card issue. But if I'm the coach and I think it's off by one, and that one is a big pitch because it's one day, it's not just one pitch, it's one day. So I'd be trying to certainly sort that out now. Obviously nobody wants to hold up the game and have it delayed, but that is a big scenario, especially if you're a team that might be short on pitching.
They're talking right now too. We can hear on the intercom a little bit them talking downstairs on the field with upstairs with the official score and going over whether it's changes on the field, substitutions, that kind of stuff, or whether it might just be pitch count that they're talking about as well.
Yeah, I was paying attention to the pitcher warming up, so I didn't see any other changes. I don't know if you do. So if it was a straight up change pitcher for pitcher, then to me they're probably talking about pitch count, because I don't see what else would have been an issue.
I'll take a look afterwards on the game stream on Game Changer and see if I can find what changes are. This is kind of the fun when we do Little League tournaments like this. I mean, it's nearly impossible. Some these score sheets end up with scratches and X's all over the place.
Looks like a children's coloring book.
It does. Regardless, a new pitcher on the mound here, as we mentioned, number 11. This is Ellie Kerluk on the mound from Nipawin, Saskatchewan. 17-year-old right-hander. Now tell me as well, she threw a lot of warm-up pitches. I mean, when you come into a game, normally you'd see, 5 in a lot of different league levels. Why? I don't know how much she threw, but it had to be over 10.
I think that's simply because nobody was watching. Typically when you come in, you get 8.
Okay.
And then 5 between every inning. So first inning or when you come in, you get 8. And then you get 5 between every other inning. But I think because of the conferencing, obviously you don't want to get tight. It's a nice warm night. I don't think she would, of course. But if no one's going to tell you not to and your arm feels good, then, getting used to the mound, etc. So I think it's just because they're sorting everything else out.
Saskatchewan down 4-0 in this one. Kerluk looks in, the 2-1. Swings at that one, hits it to first base, but foul. Outside of the reach of the first baseman. Now that's number 21 at first base, Tia Page.
So the coach for Saskatchewan, Tony, has made a change. So I was talking earlier about having the infield in, and that ball that kind of snuck through the left side and cashed a run. So now he's chosen to have just those corners in and middle infield back, trying to, obviously anything up the middle, he's going to sacrifice a run.
That one popped up foul out of play.
Hoping that your middle infield can cover a little bit more ground and at least get you an out at second base or first base, something like that, because bases loaded, none out is certainly not an ideal situation.
This one outside.
That had some nice movement even though it was outside.
Nowhere for this batter to go. This pitch needs to be in the strike zone for Saskatchewan. The 3-2. That one hit to the shortstop, picks it up. Can't quite get her hands on it, and safe at second base. The ball hit to the shortstop, tried to pick it up, bobbled it, dropped it, finally got the throw over to second base, but into second base safely on the E6. Runners still on every single base, and another run scores.
Yeah, those are tough plays sometimes when you're out in the field for a little while, long innings, you know, then a routine ball comes your way and you're just pressing so hard to get an out, you end up bobbling and can't find a handle on it. So that's a tough break for Saskatchewan and for the pitcher who just came in. She got herself a ground ball, which is exactly what you were looking for, and they weren't able to get an out, but hopefully she can continue to keep the ball low and their defense able to make a play for her.
As you said, that's exactly what she's looking for, that ground ball, potential for a double play on that one, and not able to turn it. They knew coming into this game defense was going to be key for them if they're going to have any kind of a chance against a strong Ontario team. But now, with an error in that last at bat and down 5-0 in this game, they're digging a big hole. That one inside. Two balls and one strike to the batter. Doesn't swing at that one. Another ball, 3 balls and 1 strike now to the batter. And again, no place for Tilly Burlock to go. Burlock grounded out to the first baseman in her last at bat. That ball rolled right to the first baseman, took it herself. That one called a strike.
So lots of people might think, oh, how come he took that pitch? It's a 3-1 count. So, you know, I always tell young hitters, look for one pitch in one spot. So if it's a fastball inside that you want to hit, then that's your pitch that you're going to look for. 3-1, you don't have to chase anything. So that was, you know, kind of low and outside. You know, most of the time you're not going to be able to drive that ball really hard. If anything, you're just going to put it in play to the left side. So as a batter, that's an excellent pitch to take. Now at 3-2, obviously you got to swing at that if it's going to be a strike, but 3-1, that's a good take if it's not your pitch.
That one, once again, hit to the first baseman. She decides to go home and gets the out at first base. How about that for Saskatchewan? Gets Emma Carr as she's heading home. The fielder's choice, Tilly Burke, on first base safely. How did you like that for decision making?
You know what? She actually, Tia Page over at first base, she actually came up clean with the ball, which was great, and then looked at first. And I thought, oh, and then, you know, was able to recover in time. Good strong throw home. But that is the right play. You're playing in for a reason. Your coach wants you to be able to cut that run off at home. So, you know, had a quick second, wasn't sure, but had enough time since she was playing in to get that out at home. And that is the play that you want for sure.
Very heads-up play. Thought about it, made the throw home. It was probably closer than they would have wanted it to be, but got that force out at the plate. And that is only the first out in this inning now. Bases are still loaded. And Elizabeth Plemondon up to the plate. She walked last time and she hits that one into left field. It rolls into foul territory. Plemondon rounding first, heading to second. 2-run score on the play. A 2-run double for Plemondon. Ontario absolutely smashing Saskatchewan right now as that one was hit really well into left field.
She couldn't have placed that any more perfectly. So the outfielders had shifted since she's a lefty, and pitch was outside, kept her hands in, and hit it where it was pitched. So right down the line, they had a long run to get to that ball. It was an easy double.
This ball popped up into right field, makes that catch. The big throw home. It's cut off, bobbled. And in scoring on that one, the RBI sac fly by Tess Foreman.
Good cut play, but simply too deep to be able to throw at anybody at home plate, sorry.
Plemondon stays at second base on that play. Do you think she had a chance to advance to third base on that one, or do you like how she held up there?
No, I think Sean will probably talk to her at the end of the inning. So obviously you're going to come back. Anything to the right fielder, you know, unless you think it's dropping, you're gonna tag on if you think that they're gonna throw home. So certainly tag, and then you gotta read the cut, right? They could line up cut 3, or line up line up and cut home. But as soon as you see that that ball is going to the first baseman for a potential cut home, I would anyways challenge. You got a what, 7-8 run lead, so those are practicing good base running habits. I would have had her tag and try to come to third base.
This one hit to the third baseman, a big throw to first, and gets her out for the third out in the inning. Finally eliminates the damage. Julia led off this inning with a walk, but finishes the inning with a ground out to the third baseman, 5-3. 5 runs scored in that inning. 6 runs rather scored in that inning, up 8-0 in this one now.
Gabriel Pizza, proud supporter of local sports. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. Now available online at GabrielPizza.com.
Each week on Real Talk with Sarah, I'm joined by experts in the field of wellness who share their expertise and guide us to optimal health of mind, body, and soul. Join me Sundays at 8 p.m. for Real Talk with Sarah on Rogers TV.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to over 2,000 out-of-market regular season games, with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
Welcome back, 8-0 your score. RCGT Park in Ottawa. This is Team Ontario taking on Team Saskatchewan. Team Ontario doing very well. They just scored 6 runs in their half of the inning. The final one coming in after a sac RBI from Tess Foreman. Big drive to right field. And Tess Foreman, your pitcher, on the mound today. Now, what are your thoughts if you are the coach for Team Ontario? You're doing pretty well in this game, up 8-0, but I mean, no lead is necessarily really safe. How late are you keeping Tess Foreman in this game? Are we looking at maybe keeping her for another game? We know she hasn't. I don't know what her pitch count is. I'm going to try to find that when I can. But
yeah, I was going to say.
Are you going to try to keep her under 45 pitches?
I don't think so. I would let her finish this game as long as she's in total control like she is, because I mean the pitch count is 46 pitches to 60 and it's 1 day's rest. So if she can stay under 60 pitches, I have no idea. But if she could stay under 60 pitches, then she's only on 1 day's rest. If she's 61, it's now 2 days. So it depends.
That ball hammered out to left field. It's a fair ball right out of the outstretched glove of the left fielder. Picks it up and throws it in. That is a long single. Wow.
Ellie Kerluk just crushed that ball right down the line.
That one hit deep into left field. How about that? I can't believe she only made it to first base on that one.
I was also wondering that too, because that ball was hit hard. I don't know if she got caught watching it a little bit or what happened, but that was hit a long way. Irregardless, that was a great hit. So hopefully they can work off that.
Okay, so there was a double switch then somehow?
Yeah,
somewhere?
So I was looking at my scorecard as well.
Is that what they were talking about, was the DH?
Potentially, yeah. Because I was going to say, it looked like number 11 at the plate. That's why I said Ellie.
So that was Kerluk then that hit that ball?
Yes, I believe so.
I was saying, we're kind of laughing now, and I was saying to Ashley before the game, just doing Little League a lot, it is tough to keep track of all the changes as this one's popped up to the third baseman. Doesn't have to move far, makes that out. 1 out in the inning. It's tough to track a lot of that stuff. At the best of times when we have a scoring system online that's working for us, it helps a little bit. But being new to the Game Changer and haven't looked at it yet quite today, haven't been able to keep track of a lot of the stuff that's going on online, but we know that there was the pitching change, and the batter came in, and Kerluk was the one that just batted in Andy Hillebaugh's spot. Andy Heidelbaugh was the right fielder to start this game.
So I think we're back up to the top of the order now with Paige Thompson back up to bat.
As this one's popped up as well, keeping these hitters off balance. This one hit to the shortstop for out number 2.
And again, Saskatchewan's being very aggressive. They're hitting a lot of pitches early in the count. So this is playing right into Ontario's hands. Like we were talking 2 minutes ago about leaving Tess in. If she's throwing 10 pitches or less per inning, then this is a no-brainer for the coach. Like for sure you're going to let her finish it, because she's maybe 1 day's rest. We're only Friday. She could come back Sunday in a very meaningful game. So to me, I let her finish it, but I'm up here and they're down there, so I could be wrong.
Ellie Kerluk on first base. That one a swinging strike to the batter. Now you've played in this quite a bit, and you mentioned before the game you love coaching. Would you ever consider getting into something like this where you're helping out coaching at this kind of U21 level at some day?
Well, I just actually currently retired, so finished my last national championship. Actually, Sean was my coach. That's why I mentioned it earlier, and we were lucky enough to win a gold medal in Okotoks. So some of these girls were actually on the team, so that's why I know a few of them quite well. But I am actually getting into coaching. I'm coaching with the national team for the first time this summer, and we're heading to Mexico for our World Cup qualifier.
That would be very exciting. Let's get into the trivia question right now. We've got a trivia question for any fans watching at home. This former Montreal Expos pitcher's aunt pitched in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Can you name who this person is? Former Montreal Expos pitcher. There's a lot of them to choose from there. And this pitcher's aunt pitched in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. We'll come back with the answer a little later in this one. If you know the answer, I don't know, why don't you email our producer, Mike James. He works really hard. One of the hardest working men in show business. Everyone just mass email him right now what the answer is. I'm not going to give you his email address.
I'm looking at the answer, which is the only reason I
would you have
know
known
it.
otherwise?
Not
no?
a chance.
You know what? I wouldn't have known that either.
I was going to say, if you get this, you are a truly a loyal Expos or baseball fan. I would not have got this.
All Montreal Expos fans definitely know who this person is. I highly doubt they know who his aunt is.
Yeah.
But
fair enough. I wouldn't have got either, so that's okay.
Ellie Kerluk back on the mound. Ellie Kerluk, that is, rather, back on the mound pitching in this game. It's been a great one for Ontario so far. We know they battled in their first 2 games. I brought my son to last night's game. It was really exciting. I gave him a press box tour first. He didn't enjoy that at all.
See where
he
Dad
wanted
works.
to go down. Yeah, so we brought him down. He got to choose where he wanted to sit in the stands.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get foul balls. That was the big thing. But what a tough defeat for them. They were facing Quebec in that matchup, and it was a walk-off, and the ball was absolutely hammered into the outfield, center field, and run scores on that play. And Ontario really battled in that one. And this is 2 really good teams, Ontario and Quebec. This could have been, could be a matchup, a gold medal matchup between these 2 teams in this finals, in this tournament, and they did not disappoint in that game.
Yeah, those are 2 premier teams for sure. If people are betting, most of them obviously would think that those 2 teams might see each other again in the gold medal game. Every other team certainly wants to change that outcome, but those 2 teams are really strong. Not surprising to see that it was such a close game. In all honesty, obviously Ontario is going to be upset that they lost, but I think in any tournament, you want to be in every single game. You want to know that you can win every single game. So Ontario, obviously disappointed, but certainly is going to feel like they can beat Quebec and would love another crack at them, I'm sure.
Another delay on the field. Mentioned earlier, watching these games, the pace of play is pretty quick. The pitcher gets the ball, they set, they fire right away. There's not a lot of delay, but this has been the delays that I've seen in this tournament so far. Just the coaches coming to talk to umpires and trying to sort out whatever's going on. We believe, I guess it was the last part of the inning when Ellie Kerluk came in to replace the starting pitcher. That was Caitlin Tarasoff. And just going over, I think it was more so the DH, having Brianna Belitsky start off in the DH spot and kind of a double switch, whatever happened. But again, now we're talking about more movement on the field. He's pointing to right field right now. I don't know if that's a new right fielder out there or what's going on exactly.
He seems to be pointing everywhere. I think he's trying to sort out. I think is trying to sort out where people are moving. Right, so they might not have left the game. They might have just left a position and gone somewhere else. So maybe a new right fielder and somebody else went to left field or center field or something like that. But when you add the DH, it's fun. In the pros, it's easy. Like no one comes in for the DH. That's it, and your pitcher doesn't hit. In the NL, it's exciting because managers are doing switches all the time. So they often have a little bit more chatter. In the AL, it's a little bit easier. So this often reminds me, like you said, Little League, but often the National League where pitchers have to hit and oftentimes might be pitching all right, but they're coming out if you need runs or you need offense because you need somebody to pinch hit for them. So
if you talk to a pro manager that has played in or coached anyways in the National League versus the American League, they'll say it's so much easier. It's like not even, they feel bad about collecting a paycheck coaching in the American League because it's just the game's so different.
And also when they talk about players, right, they'll say, like Bogard just got traded, Sogard just got traded from Toronto
to Tampa,
and they were saying, lots of guys were saying, they're surprised he didn't go to the NL just because he's so versatile, right?
Yeah,
and they make
the Cubs
so many.
Were a team that was looking at him.
They make so many switches. So I think, to be honest, women's ball at every age level, whether it's Pee Wee, Bantam, U21, women's, players have to be so versatile with pitch counts and stuff like that. So sometimes it causes delays just to make sure everybody's on the same page. But I love it because I think it increases the knowledge of the game. You got to be able to play a number of different positions. Lots of people can pitch and play and field a position. So
this one's hit to the second baseman, throws to first. It bounces away from the first baseman and on first base safely with a single to lead off this inning. Amber Flanagan, and once again it was walks in the first two innings, and this time it's an E4, and I believe that's the second error of the game now for Team Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I had mentioned earlier, they're going to have to be able to come up with all the routine plays and maybe even a couple big ones. The center fielder just missed a diving catch earlier in the game, which was an outstanding effort.
That would have been a heck of a grab.
Yeah, that was an outstanding effort for sure. So those ones are the ones you hope to get, but then the routine ground balls are the ones that you really want to get. Shortstop had an opportunity at one. I think it was last inning. Now second base. So. Obviously with an 8-0 lead and you're in the hole, you want to be able to make those plays, and they're certainly trying to make those plays. I think she had a little bit more time over to first base than she thought and just got rid of it a little bit too quickly and didn't make it there.
Decent lead over at first base, not a big one though, as that one's inside. Now talking about number 9 is now hitting for number 20. So I'm listening to the, the pages on there. Have you seen the video, speaking of diving catches, of Ashlyn Joliker?
Yes.
Ashlyn Joliker. Now, are we scouting her? Is she someone that we're going to hire young to be on this Ontario team someday?
So I have an excellent story about her. So Hannah Martinson, who's one of the people who sitting on the committee running this entire event. So a huge shout out to Hannah and all the people who worked so hard to put this on. But she actually, I'm going to say, found Ashlyn, and I'm not kidding. So Ashlyn has grandparents that live in Ottawa, and she came down in the winter, I believe, and she went to the indoor training facility that Hannah was working out at last year, and Hannah saw this girl just throwing seeds and hitting bullets in the cage, right side, left side. It was pretty remarkable. So she went over and talked to her, and she said, "Oh, I actually live in the Whitby area, but I'm here because my grandfather lives here."
Okay.
So Hannah started talking to her about.
As this one's hammered into left center field, it goes in between them. Rounding first on to second as this one's picked up and thrown into the cutoff person. Throws it in quick. The pitcher picks it up, and into second base safely is Caitlin Tamatsugu. She hammered that ball out in left center field.
Yeah, that was a great hit to the gap. Just to finish my story, though, so Ashlyn was talking to Hannah a little bit about, introduced her to the women's team. Didn't even realize that there was a women's team. National team. So, her grandfather paid for a ticket for her and her dad to come down to Florida, which was the host of last year's World Cup. So she watched us win a bronze medal, came out on the field, took a picture with us, and then she actually came back to Ottawa in November for the first ever women's banquet, fundraising banquet for the program. So I have been able to meet her. She's an outstanding young athlete, and she's kind of taken the social media world by storm, which is outstanding. But she is unbelievable. Like I read a tweet that one of the coaches said he doesn't have a single 8-year-old in the league that tracks a ball like that she can play for his team any day. And I'm not going to lie to you, there's not a lot of adults that could track a ball. I've seen some recreational players, I've seen some competitive players, but there are not a lot of people who can track a ball like that. She's an outstanding little player.
Yeah, the competence at that age. And how old is she right now? Do you know?
8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know, have that ability to dive and make that catch. I was out with my son today. He's 6. And, I play baseball with him quite a bit. We enjoy doing that together. And I was trying to think in my head, we're just practicing pop-ups and trying to squeeze those balls in his glove and, not being afraid of the ball, getting underneath it, playing yourself. And I don't even know how you teach that, I guess. This is something, I guess, as a teenager I just did for fun, diving for the ball, and that's, I guess, how I practiced myself. But
I remember as a kid I used to ask my mom if I could wet the grass, because it's always fun to slide and dive and learn, because you actually slide and you don't hit and stick. And my mom really likes to have nice green grass, so she wasn't having any part of that. But my dad one day came home with a slip and slide, which was maybe the best gift I've ever received. And that's honestly how I think I was 6 years old, something like that. And he put the hose on it, and then I just went to town. And I remember the first time ever I was in T-ball when I tried a head first slide into second base, and I stopped about 10 feet short. And my mom kind of chuckled at me and was like, "You gotta go a little bit further, Ash. It's not the slip and slide."
The slip and slide isn't underneath you this time. As this one's hit to the shortstop, picked up the fire to first base to get the out. The first out of the inning. A run does score on the play, though.
That was Jess McPherson, so I think she came in for Emma Carr, so she'll get some innings here. So that was, she put the ball in play, did the job. Saskatchewan was playing infield back that time, so Amber was able to score from third base.
This one's popped up into center field. It falls in front of the center fielder, fires the ball in to the catcher, but not in time. And rounding first base, so no one's holding her there. I'd be halfway to second base right now, no?
Yeah, I think sometimes you get into a habit, the game, the score where it's at. Sometimes it's, do you practice good habits, or do you show a little bit of sportsmanship, right?
Is that, are you worried about running up or showing up the other team right now?
Yeah, at some point you want to be just respectful, right? So, Steph's a great player. She kind of understands the situation right now. I do understand what you're saying, but.
This one's popped up to the third baseman, out number 2.
I'm going to guess in yesterday's game where it was much closer, she, like you said, probably would have been halfway to third base. But sometimes it's more than just a score, right? You're having respect for the other team that's out there I think it's fantastic that Saskatchewan has a team here. They don't have a team at this senior women's level, so hopefully they can convince these girls to continue to play and can continue to develop, and their coaches can work with them back home. And I think it's fantastic they have a player from BC. Obviously, it would be nice if BC could have a team, but they're giving opportunities to girls from all over the country to play with them. So, so together you're trying, you're quote unquote enemies on the field trying to beat each other, but together you're trying to build a sport and appreciate and respect that level of competition as well.
There was another team like that as well. I don't know if it was Nova Scotia.
It was probably Nova Scotia.
Had, players from, and it doesn't even say on their roster because it has them all as Nova Scotia except for Madison Sloan-White. But I heard there was a player from PEI and maybe, I don't know where the other country was, or the other province was, maybe Newfoundland as well or something.
I was going to say Newfoundland has had a bantam team in the past.
Okay.
Because I know the this year Bantam Championship is back out in Nova Scotia, actually. Holly does an outstanding job in Nova Scotia. She's hosted it a number of times, but prior to that, I know that they hosted it in Vaughan 2 years in a row, a couple years ago, and they had a Newfoundland team. So it's awesome to see at the Bantam level. I think that there's 8-10 teams, which is fantastic, and from very small provinces sometimes where they're really starting to grow the sport. So hopefully that continues to translate through the U21 and up to the senior women. So likely there's a couple players from that Nova Scotia team from other maritime provinces.
Big swing and a miss there by Tilly. She got on with the fielder's choice in the second inning, grounded out to the first baseman in the first inning, fouls that one back. The count is full, runner on first. 2 out in the inning, Ontario up 10-0. So the mercy rule would be in effect now. And I believe that's after 5 innings in this one.
Yep, 10 after 5.
Runner goes. That one's popped up in the infield. Have to charge that one hard, and it drops. So into first base safely as that one just drops right in between the pitcher and the second baseman. The pitcher actually probably would have had a shot on that. I don't know if she knew where it was.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes you're telling your pitchers to not catch pop flies. You love your pitchers to be able to field their position really well. That's hard when you go backwards off the mound. But that play is really tough for second base. That's a long run, and it wasn't a really high pop fly, so she didn't have time to get there. So you're hoping your pitcher can get that, but typically you don't ask your pitchers to catch a lot of pop flies, so maybe there might have been a little bit of miscommunication there as well.
The pitcher looks in. The batter, Plemondon. First pitch called a strike. Runners on first and second now here for Ontario. And this game has been all Ontario. 7 hits, 10 runs for them.
The 7 hits, though, if you think about it, there wasn't other than a couple hard hit balls, it's not like they were tearing the cover off the ball. Saskatchewan unfortunately got themselves in a little bit of trouble with the walks and a couple errors, and Ontario was able to take advantage. But in terms of hard hit balls, like Caitlin had one.
Yeah. Caitlin, I'd say the single and the double.
Liz,
and then
Liz's drive down left field line. So there's been a couple doubles.
Yeah, and then Stephanie Ellis would be the other one probably.
Yeah. But of 7 hits, I'm going to say 3 were like really, kind of hard hit balls. The other ones found a hole or found an opening. But it's not like Saskatchewan is getting blown away because Ontario is ripping the cover off the ball. So, that's promising. Obviously, it's disheartening with the score. Nobody wants to lose, and then also to lose, in a large fashion. But there are some positive takeaways from them for sure.
Another foul ball there for Elizabeth. And a bit of a momentum builder, hopefully, now for Team Ontario. Again, losing that big matchup against Quebec. But then a big win today. And they also won against Manitoba. As the walk to Liz. And that brings up Tess Foreman, the pitcher. That's Liz's second walk in the game. Ellis at third, Burlock at second, Clemendon at first. Tess Foreman batting with the bases loaded. She grounded out to second baseman in her first at bat in the first inning, then had that sac RBI in the second inning. Looking for her first hit in today's game. Another conference on the mound.
I'm not sure if it's so much of a conference or just trying to give his pitcher a little bit of a breather. She's thrown quite a few pitches this inning. Just maybe a little bit of a confidence boost. You got a couple out here. Let's try to get one more. It doesn't really matter that there's 3 runners on. Just focus on the batter type thing. Sometimes that's just a little pep talk.
Pitch number 2, driven out into right field. Past the right fielder, she runs back, picks it up, a run scores. Tess Foreman rounding first, heading to second, in there safely with a run-scoring double. Ontario tacking onto their already big lead.
Just as I say, Ontario really hasn't torn the cover off the ball. Tess has a nice line drive out to the gap in right center. That was a good hit. Took the ball where it was pitched. Capitalized on a throw-in. They actually probably had a chance at her second base, but they were looking to cut off another run at home, so they went to their cutoff person instead of into second base, but they might have had a shot at her at second if they had thrown the ball there.
Tess Foreman, the only batter from Ontario that's hit the ball to right field today. She's done it twice now, but looks good on that one, the run-scoring double. As that one gets away from the catcher, another run scores here.
That's another one of those where it's tough as a coach, so you're not going to, obviously with the lead, you're not intentionally stealing or picking up extra bases here, but pass ball pretty much forced to go, especially with the big backstop.
Yeah, that is something that's a lot different than probably a lot of the places where they play already, that big backstop behind home plate.
Yeah, it's funny in baseball how the dimensions of the field can be so different. So obviously the infield, the bases, pitching mound, that's all the same, but you look at even major league parks, how different they are. You got the monster, you got the short fence out in New York. Like any pop fly to right field could be a home run, really, especially if the wind is blowing out. Kansas City, so the Jays just finished off at Kansas City, and then you've got that park is massive. Nobody hits home runs there, other than Bo Bichette. But yeah, like all the parks are so different. What park was it? I can't remember. It used to have the little hill out in center field.
Houston.
Yeah, like
I wish they would have kept that. I guess I don't know why
was
if it was
that
a
there?
danger thing or
yeah, how could that have been safe?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fun. It was just
it was so weird. Like
it was a unique aspect of the park.
Oh, it was unique. All right, it's hard enough to play. It's like such a hard position to play. Center field, you got all that room.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna make it harder. We're gonna put just a little hill right near the fence, and see if you can catch the ball.
And then Oakland as well. There's so much foul territory in that park. It makes a big difference. As an outfielder, if you're playing closer to the lines, you have a better opportunity to catch a foul ball and get an out on that one, as opposed to something like this, where there's no territory, there's no space. If you're deep in right field, that ball's going over the fence easy. This one hit into left center field. The run scores. And just station to station baseball right now here for Team Ontario. Runners at first and second now. That was Amber Flanagan going oppo. Just keeping the line moving.
Did she lead off this inning?
She did. Got on with the
E4. Throwing error at second base. So they've gone through their lineup. I think that's
the second time in a row they've done that,
2 innings in a row. So obviously their batters are, putting the ball in play, getting on base.
Making a mess of my score sheet as this one's driven up the middle into center field. The big throw in, cut off by the pitcher. And again, station-to-station baseball. Players are staying there.
Good for you, the score sheet. I'm just trying to go straight off memory right now. Usually I'm not too bad at it. When I'm out in the field, I can remember everything, where they hit it, when.
It's true, yeah.
But it's so much harder when you're sitting up here. I always think, oh, it's so easy. But now that I'm sitting here for the first time with the mic on, I give kudos to the people who are very good at this job. It is challenging to remember everything.
For me, as you said, out in the field, especially playing, I've played a bit of catcher before, but center field, I love playing center field, just being able to run and just keeping track of where the batters, oh geez, as that one's over the batter's head, where the batters have hit in that one, and trying to get in their head a little bit. You know that maybe some guy pulls the ball all the time, playing over a little bit, and you know what? If you want to go opposite field, go for it.
Yeah, like I play a lot of shortstop for most of my career, and same thing, always constantly talking to second base, third base, and my outfielders. That's
huge.
Yeah, so Mena, like I said, the trainer for Ontario right now, she's actually played a lot of second base beside me, and then Brittany Chan for Ontario played third base, and we talk to each other all the time. Like, sometimes it's just friendly little reminders of things, or now we don't even speak, just kind of wave my glove at her and she knows what I'm saying.
And that's people that have played together that long, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the fun part of the game, or if sometimes, you get used to batters or playing against people. That's the fun part about, you watch in the big leagues, like matchups, it's so much easier than here. Here you've never seen half of these players or pitchers, batters before, so it's certainly tough. You're throwing your best stuff, but you don't know if the matchup, if you get a great fastball throwing pitcher, but you don't necessarily know if you're throwing or you're playing a good fastball hitting team, right? If you play a team 16 times like you do in the majors, Stroman's throwing a lights out slider. So
and not only that, all the advanced metrics they've got. There's staffs that are in charge of that stuff, right? Especially Houston is great for stuff like that, as that one's hammered to third base. Does a great job of getting her left shoulder on it, but throws the ball away, and the runners are staying there. So a run scores on that one after the error from the third baseman. Watcher, great job here. Just blocks the ball. Yeah. Great job just keeping it in front of her. And the wherewithal to pick it up, but throws it away at first base.
I actually think she saved a second run by knocking that down. If that goes out to left field, probably scores a second run, but did knock it down. Strong throw to first, just actually overshot her a little bit, but that was a hard hit ball down they call it the hot corner for a reason, that's for sure.
And the coach out on the mound again. This will be a pitching change, so Kerluk will come out of this one. I've been so busy I haven't even marked that down. So Ellie Kerluk came in, here we go, to replace, that's a 70 pitches, did you hear that?
Yeah,
70, wow.
And how many innings did she pitch?
Kerluk, so she came in, where is this?
2?
Sorry, again, my score sheet's a mess here.
I know, I'm trying to cheat and look at it.
That's okay. So she came in the second inning. There was 1 out in the inning, so she's thrown...
we're only in the third. Sorry. Sorry, I'm looking at the sheet. Yeah, you're off on the fourth. Yeah.
I changed my score sheet too. I make my own score sheet. So I had one that was, I think, 10 innings or something. But these are 7-inning games, so I got rid of the 10 innings and just kept it at 7. If this game goes any deeper,
now you're wishing you had 10.
I'm going to be in big trouble. So she came into the second inning with 1 out now. So throws 70 pitches, I believe, in this one. So what is that for her then?
Yeah, so that means she's finished we're Friday and the tournament finishes up on Sunday. So she's got 2 days rest. So anything 61 to 75 pitches is 2 days rest. So that ends her tournament on the mound anyways, obviously playing another position and having an opportunity to hit. But she will be... And it looks like actually if you see the shot there, she's still in the game. She's got a knee behind the mound, so still in the game.
Yeah, I saw her coming out to the field. I didn't know what spot she went to though. I don't know if you noticed that at all. Second base maybe.
Yeah, if they're lined up in order, then yes.
I did watch her though when she was coming out. I think she did go to, but yes, you're right, that too.
Yeah. They could be just tricking us though.
So this is Kiana on the mound now. Kiana Dillaba from Kindersley, Saskatchewan. 18-year-old right-hander.
There's another player, Jocelyn Cannon from Kindersley.
Number 17, number 6, Amy Johnson. And now at third base.
Tell me a little bit about how the scouting goes for stuff like this. Okay, so she went to third base then, Kerluk.
Okay.
And the third baseman, who was one of the great hitters on this team, has now moved to second base. She's had a good tournament so far. She's a very strong hitter. So tell me how some of the scouting goes then. How do you find a lot of these people? Is this kind of word of mouth? Because you're not traveling around watching every little game here and there. I mean, or these are girls that are really just trying out for this then? Is that how it goes? You're not necessarily going out and scouting people for this kind of tournaments?
Yeah, I think most provinces, and I can't speak to all the provinces. I know how Ontario does it.
This one is hit out into left center field. Almost a bit of a collision there, but picked up in left field for the out. That is the third out of the inning, and what an inning that one was. A nice grab, could have been trouble there. 15-0 your score. Ontario over Saskatchewan, the end of the third here. Be sure to come back and check out more of this on Rogers TV.
Celebrate Ottawa is a collection of stories for, by, and about the people, places, and rich history that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Tune in Sunday evenings at 7:30.
It's my job to help you become the best version of yourself.
At Family Channel,
you're gonna rock this, all right? Give me hugs. Give me hugs.
Screen time brings us together.
You guys are gonna be awesome.
That was great. I'm so proud of you.
Inspires greatness.
Do you feel like you belong?
I belong now.
And is always just a click away.
You and me, we shake this town.
Family Channel. Screen time, that's family time.
Welcome back, Rogers TV. We have the U21 Women's National Tournament here in Ottawa. This is a great treat for the Ottawa fans to be able to come out and watch this. We've got about the same amount of attendance that come out to Champions games, I would say. Some family and friends out to see this one for sure as well. And hopefully checking in on Rogers TV if you're from out of town. Ontario winning this one big right now. They're up 15-0. They're doing a great job with their bats and on the mound. Tess Foreman has pitched a gem so far for her club, only given up one hit in this game.
Yeah, I think that actually, I didn't realize that until you said that, but I think that's kind of went unnoticed. Obviously, you knew that the Ontario bats were going to come out, but Tess has thrown a very good game, making sure she... I mean, at this point, you're just trying to throw strikes. Like, you've got a big lead. You're easily you would trade outs for runs right now. So she's going to continue to throw strikes. And Ontario at this point is probably looking to try to finish this game in 5 innings now.
The only player to get on base in this one was Ellie Kerluk. She came in to replace Andy Heidelbaugh. Andy Heidelbaugh started the game in right field. Ellie Kerluk came in to pitch, and Ellie absolutely demolished that ball into deep left field, and that ball rolled away. Got a single out of that one, but then the next three batters, Kiana Delaba, Paige Thompson, and Kylie Fredland all got out, so no damage for their team. Amy Johnson now the batter, one of the better hitters on this team, hits it to the second baseman, tosses it on to first base for the out. Amy Johnson, for the second time in a row, grounding out to the second baseman. Only been one strikeout in this game so far. That was Kylie Fredland. So both teams doing a good job of getting bat on ball. There's been a few walks in this game as well, though. First pitch, a swing strike to number 16, the batter. That is Caitlin Tarasoff. So Caitlin Tarasoff started this game. She was replaced by Kerluk. Not sure what spot on the field she went out to afterwards, but.
And now in left field,
I think she went out for the outfield.
Maya Waldron.
She's a lefty and she wasn't playing first base, so that means there was nowhere for her on the infield.
On the infield, no.
She went out to the outfield.
I have a guy on my men's team who's a left-hander, and he keeps asking me to play shortstop. Sorry.
It's funny, I do Blue Jays amateur little clinics around Southern Ontario, and then they actually have them all over super clinics or super camps all over Canada. But we just finished one up at the Rogers Centre, and working on double plays in the middle, and I mean, they go from station to station, so it doesn't matter if you're lefty, righty, everybody's going to get a chance to do it. And so I was actually running base running, but I overheard Orlando Hudson was helping.
Big swing and a miss there for the out.
Orlando Hudson was actually
the O-Dog.
Yeah, the O-Dog. They get alumni in there to help with some of these super camps. So he was at the middle infield station, and a lefty comes up and he says, "Well, Orlando, what do I do here?" And he goes, "It doesn't matter, just figure it out. You're never going to play there." And it was like, I mean, he was joking, but not joking. Yeah. He said it nicely, and he was kidding around, but the poor kid couldn't figure out why he wasn't allowed to play there.
That's awesome. This one hammered out into center field. The diving grab attempt by the center fielder. She can't do it. The big toss into second base, and that's another long single for Saskatchewan. This one by the adopted stepsister, Ashley Lozen. We say adopted, the joke earlier. She actually is from BC, but is able to play on the Saskatchewan team. A nice hit by her.
That was a good effort by Caitlin. I mean, you got nothing to lose at this point. You got a lead. It's not like you're looking to keep balls in front of you, so she laid out for it. Good backup from left fielder, so good effort.
What a treat that would be. Great story. The O-Dog, Orlando Hudson, one of the best second basemen defensively that Toronto Blue Jays have ever had. And I can't remember exactly, I've been trying to think of this in my head, what he called J.P. Ricciardi, the GM at the time. If he called him a dog, it wasn't derogatory or anything like that. He was just trying to, I don't know, informally call his general manager something, and he didn't take too kindly to that one.
Yeah. He's a fun guy, actually. He had lots of energy. They all bring lots of energy. Like Lloyd Mosby's there, Shaker, as they call him. Yeah. Jesse Barfield's there. So Dwayne Ward. So they got a lot of big names that come back and help out. Speaking of big names, the big cat, Frank Calanato's out there. Nice. So, yeah, so there's, some even more recent players, Ricky Romero.
Another strikeout swinging will... Two strikeout swinging in this inning now. That was Jocelyn Cannon.
Kind of right on cue. You said to start. There was only 1K actually to start the inning, and then she goes and strikes out 2 that inning.
Jinxed it. So it's the middle of the inning. We're good. So finish up that story, and then we'll get to the trivia question.
No, just
the players, anyways. That like Dwayne Ward.
Yeah, they bring tons of energy, so it's actually really great for the kids. I mean, to be honest, I think most of the kids might not know who they are. They just like the energy. They bring. Right? Yeah. Lots of the parents are sitting in the stands with pictures and have all kinds of things that they want signed because they're more from that era, but it's fun.
All right, so today's baseball trivia question. Again, this former Montreal Expos pitcher, come on all you Expos fans, you know this person, had an aunt who played in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. So I want you to be able to name the player and who his aunt was. So the player, Bill Spaceman Lee. Everyone knows Bill Spaceman Lee. Come on, one of the most fun guys in baseball. Played for the Boston Red Sox from 69 to 77, and for the Montreal Expos from 78 to 82. And his aunt, Annabelle Lee, played for the Minneapolis Millerettes in 1944, the Fort Wayne Daisies in 45 and 48, the Peroa Red Wings, in 46, 47, and 1950, and the Grand Rapids Chicks in 1947. I don't think we'd have the Grand Rapids Chicks around these days. She pitched a perfect game in 1944 and a no-hitter in 1945. And there you see Bill Lee and his aunt, Annabelle Lee Harmon.
I'm not sure about a couple of those names. The Chicks, the Daisies.
The Daisies, yes, yeah.
That doesn't seem so fierce.
No, not so. But Bill Spaceman Lee, I believe he wrote a book as well. I'd have to look that up again. But Bill Spaceman Lee was quite a character. And somebody obviously that Montreal Expos fans remember, adore.
A character like Biagini character, or?
Yeah, you could say that. Joe Biagini, he was a tough loss now. Okay, I'm looking up, Bill Lee books. He wrote 4 books maybe? Baseball Eccentrics? Book by Bill Lee, yeah. So the Little Red Sox book. The Wrong Stuff, that's a good book. Have Glove, Will Travel. There you go. Yeah, Joe Biagini, he's quite a character, eh? Just a funny guy. He had a rough last couple of years. A good pitcher, though, and I mean, he found his role in the bullpen, and he did really well for them. Had a high 3 ERA this year, and we have a producer that I don't know how the fans at home feel about Blue Jays talk. We have a producer that hates us talking about Blue Jays on broadcast, so I try to stay away from that. No, our producer right now doesn't mind that at all. He's a big Yankees fan. He loves the Yankees.
Oh, no.
But there's another one that doesn't wants us to talk about the champions and that stuff, which is completely fine as we see the walk there to Maya Waldron. But I don't even know what I was going to
Jays
say
are,
anymore.
Canada's team. You gotta get a little bit of Jays talk in there.
Assess that trade for me. Joe Biagini, Aaron Sanchez, an undervalued Aaron Sanchez, and then I will say the part of that trade I hated the most afterwards for Derek Fisher, who was once a top 100 prospect in baseball and isn't a prospect anymore. He's 26 years old, but still in his own right's a very good AAA, maybe quad A outfielder. Just hasn't put things through for him in the major leagues.
I mean, I don't know. Like, sometimes every time Sanchez goes out on the mound, I really just think he's going to be better than he is.
Yeah.
Like what did he have? I don't know how many starts in a row, like 12, 13 starts in a row where he didn't pick up.
No wins.
Yeah, no wins. I mean, obviously some of them weren't his fault, but then some of them he was shelled. So I always just expected more from him. His last few starts, he was very good. I think he gave up 4 or 5 runs in his last start, but struck out 10. Like, really, actually, his line didn't tell the tale of kind of how well he pitched. And Biagini, I think he's actually pretty solid out of the bullpen. Yeah. I think when they tried to make him a starter, he's just not a starter. He can't go through a lineup 3 times. You just can't do it. But very effective out of the bullpen. So, I mean, I don't know much about Fisher, but I'm going to say that the Jays didn't win that trade.
As that one's hit to first base, the force is off to throw to second and safe at second. So runner in scoring position here now for Ottawa as Tilly Burlock is out. So for me, and I loved Aaron Sanchez, and I know that his value was way down, so for me, I wouldn't have traded him. It's unfortunate they couldn't have. It's unfortunate Ken Giles got hurt when he did. Joe Biagini, great player. He was under control for the team, so it's tough to lose him as well, but that's fine. He wouldn't have been around for the big rebuild in a couple years anyways, probably. As this one's grounded to first base as well, another out. And now over at third base is Losin. No, I got the wrong batting order here, sorry. Over at third base is...
Ellie's playing third base, but Waldron is at third base.
Waldron, there we go, yeah.
Yep. I wasn't sure which one you were looking for.
That's okay.
I had 2 names, I just wasn't sure which one.
Worst part of that trade, though, for me, and great job by Houston scouting to pick up Cal Stevenson. So this guy was drafted in the 10th round in 2018 and was a player to watch from scouts that watch prospects.
Yeah.
He was hitting .298, .388 on-base percentage in Dunedin this year. And this is a guy, he didn't have a big draft stock coming in, as this one's picked up by the first baseman. Is she going to toss it? No, she goes to first base herself, thankfully, to get that out and retire the side. So 3 plays there after the walk by Maya Waldron. This is the first time in the game where a leadoff batter for Team Ontario has gotten on base and hasn't scored a run in the inning. Team Ontario running away with this one, 15-0. Only 2 hits for Team Saskatchewan. We'll see you back here after the break for more action on Rogers TV.
Maybe it's the moonlight or the moonshine. I can feel it in my bones.
Number 1 for good times.
Oh my God, this is my song. I've been listening to the radio. Oh.
Number 1 for favorites.
She can hear those church bells ringing, and up in the loft that home.
Number 1 for new music.
Even when I'm 1,000 miles.
Number 1 for country. Country 101.1.
Hi, my name is Dana. I'm a grade 11 student at St. Paul High School, and I'm in the co-op program at Rogers TV. I work on Daytime Ottawa, and I greet guests as they come in, and I mic them up and bring them into the studio. I also work on Multicultural Window, where I do VTR and camera. If you have any interest in video, you should come and volunteer at Rogers TV, where we'll teach you audio, camera, and VTR. Come join us.
Welcome back again, 15-0 in this game. Team Ontario over Team Saskatchewan. Team Ontario coming into this game with only 1 win. That in their last game, they had a really tough loss against Quebec. They're up against the wall now. They know they've got to go on a run in their games coming. They've got to really run the table and win those all. And is it still Tess Foreman on the mound? It doesn't look like it.
No. It actually looks like Amber's on the mound.
That is Amber, yeah. So Tess Foreman through 4 innings, 4 complete innings. Yeah, we got that out. 4 complete innings. I'll try to. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll try to get the pitch count for you at home. If you're keeping track, if anyone's sitting with score sheets at home and wants to know what that is, I'll try to find that out for you. And she's out of the game though now, and it is Amber Flanagan in the game. This ball hit up the middle into center field. Flanagan, first batter, gives up a hit. The way Saskatchewan wants to start it, this could be the end of the game for Saskatchewan. Right now, they need base runners. And this is a big bat coming up to the plate for them in Kerluk.
That was a nice hit, straight up the middle. First pitch, I mean, Saskatchewan's been aggressive all night. They haven't been worried about pitch counts, that's for sure. They've gone up there looking for their pitch, and when they think they get it, they're hacking. So that was a nice hit up the middle by Tia Page.
That one inside, the throw over to first base. Again, if you're Saskatchewan right now, you're down by 15 runs. These runs right now do not matter whatsoever. Saskatchewan needs base runners. They're not going to be taking any chances on the base paths.
It's funny, it reminds me of I was in a championship game once, and I was standing on second base, and I was, I think we were down by 2. And so I wasn't even the tying run. And I remember the coach yelled over, "You're not important." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
How old would you have been?
Oh, you're like an adult, but
okay.
it was funny. The whole bench yelling, "You're not important. You're not important." And I was like, somebody thinks I'm important, I'm pretty sure. I was like, you should finish that off, coach, with "You're not important right now in this game." But it was funny. So I always think of that. So like in this situation too, right? They have runners on first and second. Unfortunately, they're not that important right now. They need a lot more than that. But it's a good start.
Yeah, and Ontario feeling the same way. Kerluk with a big lead at first base, but that's only because the first baseman is not holding her there, because again, that run does not matter right now.
Yeah, they'll trade runs for outs, that's for sure.
This, I believe, yes, is Kiana Dillabaugh up to the plate. Dillabaugh came in to pitch the last half of the inning. This one popped up behind the plate. Into foul territory. The on-deck circle picks it up. On-deck batter picks it up for her. The 1-2. That one high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you're the Ontario coaches, with how well you've played in this game, you just want strikes right now. This one hit past the pitcher. Shortstop picks it up, throws to third base. I think she bobbled the ball. I don't know if she was trying to tag her. I don't think she was. I think she was actually just bobbling the ball at third base.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see a little bit of a replay there, but that's a heads-up play by the shortstop. She had no chance at second base. I don't think she had a chance at first base, so we're going to get a chance to see it here. So cuts in front, and then immediately pops. Great heads-up play. Yeah, bobbled the ball there because it wasn't a forced play.
That was interesting, though, and we couldn't see if the ball was actually in the glove, because it looked like if it was in the glove that she had control of it until the end when it was maybe kicked out a little bit.
Yeah, she must not have, because the ball was definitely there before the player, but must not have had control of that ball. And zero argument, so, which makes me believe that the right call was made.
This one hit through the 5-6 hole into left field. Left fielder picks it up, throws it to the shortstop, and a run scores here for Saskatchewan. Their first run of the game, and it took them getting Tess Foreman out of the game to finally get a run across the plate.
Nice round of applause from the Saskatchewan fans. So, you know, these games are tough when you're down by a lot, but sometimes you have small moral victories. So they've had a couple nice hits here. They got bases loaded, putting a little bit of pressure on. So to cash a run here, even though this game is out of hand, it's you know, it's not over till it's over. So they're looking to build on this, but that's a nice way for them to kind of close out this game.
Here is Kylie Fredlin's spot in the order. The swing and the miss. This is not Kylie Fredlin, though. This is number 29.
Caitlin Robertson.
Batting here now, Robertson. Fredlin had the fielder's choice in her first at-bat, strikeout swinging. Fredlin, the left-hander, looking to do something different. Grounds this one to the second baseman. A throw to short, on to first. In time to get the out. The run crosses the plate. 2 runs now in the inning for Saskatchewan, but there's also 2 outs. And as you mentioned, Ontario was very happy to trade those runs for outs.
That was a nice turn. I mean, Taylor made double play, but they still had to make it. Good toss to second base, and then great toss by Steph over to first. Good strong arm.
That one fouled back. Oh, almost a nice catch by the fan, but he drops it. It rolls over the dugout roof and into the dugout.
It's like a little teaser. They got hit by it, but they didn't even get to keep the ball.
That hurts.
It's always impressive when you see on TV, you got a baby in one hand and they just make the barehanded catch in the other.
Yeah. This one fell back right about in the same area, and this time he ducked out of the way. He wanted nothing to do with that one.
He wasn't going to be showing up twice.
No. At last night's game, it was fun. There was actually kids on the dugouts for, I believe it was the Ontario side, and they were dancing on the dugout, which was awesome. That one quite high. Runner at third base. 2 outs in the inning. A big bat for Saskatchewan. Amy Johnson up to the plate, but she's grounded out to the second baseman. Both her times at the plate. Swings and misses at that one, and that will end it for Saskatchewan. They scored 2 runs in the inning. I believe it was Tia Page and Ellie Kerluk that scored those runs. But the strikeout swinging by Amy Johnson ends it for Saskatchewan. Ontario wins this one 15-2. And watching this game, players of the game maybe, who do you think?
I mean, tough to go against Tess. I think, what did she have? 3 strikeouts, 4 innings, no earned runs. I bet you she didn't even throw 45 pitches, so that's pretty impressive in and of itself. I think she had a couple RBIs. Caitlin, I thought, hit the ball well. Caitlin Tomasugo, and I think she started in left field and switched over to center field. So.
I quite agree that Tess Foreman anyways, and probably Ellie Kerluke for Saskatchewan, great players in this one. So be sure to tune in for our next broadcast. That will be tomorrow, Saturday, August the 3rd, 2 p.m. That'll be Ontario taking on Nova Scotia. This is at RCGT Park in Ottawa, 2 o'clock on Rogers TV. Ontario versus Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's played well. They beat Manitoba 10-0. And they beat Quebec 5-1 as well. So Nova Scotia will be a tough matchup for Ontario tomorrow.
Now for the play of the game presentation.
Thanks for tuning into this broadcast on Rogers TV. It was an exciting one for Ontario. They played really well. Tess Foreman pitched her heart out on the mound, and she was able to carry her team forward with a big win in this one. Again, 15-2 your final. We'll see you tomorrow for more action. Women's U21 baseball on Rogers TV.
Poncho owns a small but lovely lodge with wonderful accommodations located in the heart of Chilean Patagonia. Recently built, this lodge has all the comforts to make your stay memorable, including wonderful food. His cozy lodge is in fact nestled on a hillside on the banks of a wonderful lake that is full of rainbow trout. From here, we base our daily operations, traveling to various streams and rivers.
What's that? Oh, big fish. Whoa. Oh, he's coming out. It's a rainbow. Here. He's coming down. Oh, what? The head just came up and chomped that hopper.
I can watch you closer.
Beautiful, beautiful fish. Yes, baby. That was outstanding.
The rods I've brought to Chile to fish the streams and rivers are 4 to 6 weights. The ideal lengths are 7.5 to 9 foot in various actions based on the size of stream or river we're fishing. The patterns we used on the rivers and streams in Chile were mostly topwater offerings. Poncho likes us to use darker colored hopper patterns that were generally smaller than what we're used to. The same applied to any beetle patterns as well, tied with foam or other buoyant materials. For streamers, we also use mostly dark or black colored patterns, which seem to incite the greatest interest from the trout.
Got another one here. This water is proving to be extremely productive. We're taking a lot of fish out of here. I don't know if this is a bigger one or hard to tell at first. Pulling fairly well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good fish. Give me a good run for my money. Another nice rainbow. Oh no, it's brown. Yeah. The browns here are quite colorful. Okay. Where is he? Oh, I got caught up in my fly line. Got him. We're taking fish after fish out of this one run here, just working left to right, one under the willows, one just in the slipstream there in the flow, one in the quiet mirror water there. Really interesting, just methodically moving up here. You know, sometimes we move too fast through the water and we're not methodical enough. When we miss a lot of fish, we look, we don't see them, we keep going, we're walking by fish. So today, we're taking a long time to do this one stretch of water, and we're pulling a lot of fish out of here. So it's a good lesson for me to slow down a little bit. Beautiful fish, Poncho, beautiful fish, ready to go back, and somebody else can catch him next time.
My mother said we had to leave home. The communists were going to take my father away. If my parents were afraid, they didn't show us. But we would never forget our escape from Vietnam. We were lost.
What was your job in Vietnam? University professor.
We had no home.
Do you have any family in Canada?
No, sir. Nobody wanted us.
Welcome to Canada.
Canada chose us.
Canadians opened their borders, their homes, and their hearts to more than 100,000 refugees fleeing persecution after the Vietnam War.
We were home.
Working here as a volunteer is a good way to get to know your community. It's a good way to learn how to work as a part of a team, and it's a good way to meet some really wonderful people. Learned a lot from the other volunteers and from the staff coming through here about production techniques. I'm Ken Grant, and I'm a Rogers TV volunteer.
Today, Poncho has brought us to a wonderful lake to fish. Towards the end of the day, he took me to a feeder stream to try our luck for big brown trout. Nice. Now what happened there, Francisco spotted the take. He saw the flash and cued me in because I didn't see the fish, but he did. I saw it after it hit, but if I hadn't got that cue, and this is where a good guide is so important, I didn't see it in time. And the thing is, there's more fish in here. They're all big. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's a big boy. They're eating emergers, and we're trying to get them to come up for dry. Just could not make it work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, Francisco, I'll bring him right in here into this part of the hole. Let's get the line on the reel. Okay. All right, we're ready. Yep, you ready? Get his head up.
Lift his head up. Okay.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, look at the size of him. He's a tank. Look at this guy. Oh, what a sweet fish. Look at that. Right here in the last few hours. Ready to go back in that hole, and there he goes. For my last river trip, Poncho took me to a magnificent river that flowed down between the mountains. The view here was nothing short of epic. Poncho had me casting streamers most of the time, trying to entice trout out from undercut banks and cover. However, the winds that day were significant and often caused us problems.
Set.
All right. Came out there and just hammered that fly. Little brown?
Little brownie, yeah.
hope you enjoyed our incredible trip to Chilean Patagonia to fly fish on their wonderful rivers and streams. Our sincere thanks to Poncho and ChileTrout.com for hosting us. Thanks for watching, and check out our website for more information about Chilean Patagonia.
The new Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to the support of Orvis Sporting Traditions,
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
What do I like? I like open fires, moonlit nights, chatty letters, rainy days. I like daydreaming. I love this colorful little island of ruby, emerald, and sapphire. Yet often my dark moods come. I'm possessed body and soul by this depression. They say women shouldn't write. Some days I almost give up. But I cannot contain my imagination. I made Anne real. I gave her my love of nature, my love of books, and my childhood dreams. My greatest happiness would be to climb the alpine path and write upon it a woman's humble name.
Lucy Maud Montgomery battled depression, rejection, and sexism to become known around the world for Anne of Green Gables and 19 other novels.
I'm Paula Roy from Paula Roy's Favorite Foods. Catch my show each week when I'm going to share with you some of my favorite recipes to make your home cooking more fun and more successful.
Sup, party people? You ready to dance?
Ready to summer it up on Disney Channel? Then you're ready for a ride that's wild.
Whoa.
And roller coasters of the emotional kind.
You seem extremely huggable.
All summer.
So excited about summer.
New shows.
No spoilers, please.
New episodes.
Unexpected twists.
Every weekend.
Super exciting. We make it look easy, don't we? No, we don't.
Summer it up on Disney Channel.
Sorry, it's catchy.
This is Rogers TV, Ottawa.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to the 2018 Hanseok Contest, the Great Korean Cook-Off Canada Edition.
인체로 위를 둘러봐도 나 같은 여자애가 있는지 모두 날 쳐다봐 날 기웃기웃 가려도 쓸데없는 애들뿐이었으니 You think that
K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty. Korea is so hot right now, and for good reason. It's an incredibly young country with an ancient past. Korea is all about sharing and eating fresh, healthy food. And that's why we're here, the Hansik 2018 contest.
This annual cook-off pits the world's top chefs against each other for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid culinary tour of Korea. Each of 14 competing cities or countries chooses just one top chef. And in Canada, we had 5 of the best competing for the big prize.
Jamie Stunt, Harriet Clooney, John Svavis, Shane Chartrand, and the legendary Mark Lepine. Each chef prepared a Korean-inspired dish for our 3 judges. They chose 3 finalists, but the winner will be chosen by 50 randomly selected People's Choice judges who may not even know the chefs by reputation. But first, let's have a look at what our 5 chefs cooked up. 시작 하게요.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
A-E-W-H-Y 이게 유행의 다음에 Look at me now 예술의 집합체가 되기 위한 걸음의 시작 요즘 내 이빨이
Mark Lepine is the kind of chef that other chefs hope to become. Twice he's been named Canada's culinary champion, and this year 100 Best Restaurants magazine named him Canada's most innovative chef. But how innovative are his Korean flavors? Let's take a look.
The thing that attracted me to this competition is, first off, I love Korean food, absolutely love it. So upon hearing this competition, I wanted to throw my hand in trying to make a Mark Lepine Korean dish. The way that we've incorporated the fresh and seasonal aspect is we've actually grown some of the ingredients right in our backyard that we're going to be using in the dish. We've got some beautiful radishes we're going to go pick out of the garden right before we put the plate together. Going to be very beautiful and fresh.
Believe forever, forever, me, forever, forever. 영원히 비와, 영원히 비와. Hey, 진짜로 여기저기 어디든 매번 들리는 내 이름. Yeah.
The parameters I set for myself going into it were that I wanted the dish to be very atelier in its nature, and not just trying to reproduce a Korean dish that I would have had in another way, take inspiration from that and turn it into an atelier dish. So altered some of the ingredients. Instead of using rice in my dish, I'm using rice paper that we've put through an edible printer and printed a little doll harungang character onto it, and then we fry it. And so it's this crispy hoop of rice with a little Korean image on it. So we've taken this approach with a lot of the ingredients in the dish and turned it sort of into something that still looks like an atelier plate.
But what really matters is what the judges will think. Will he make it to the top 3? Let's see what Chef Sanana has to say. So here at Atelier, it's renowned across Canada, really, for really artistic and innovative food. So what was your take on what Mark Lepine had for us?
I was actually expecting some mind-blowing experience, and then yes, I got it. It's mind-blowing. The taste was intense and pure, and what he was thinking is what I ate. That was very inspiring.
So he wrapped rice paper around a cylinder and printed on it and made jelly with ginger and pickled carrot. I mean, there were layers and layers of flavors there, right?
Yes, and everything combined, very like subtly, nicely done. Very harmonized well, and the rice paper printed in a doll harubang was so cute, and it even seasoned, so you can feel the taste of it. And I enjoyed thoroughly with the jelly and the shrimp. Was great.
Mark Lepine has set the bench incredibly high. Can our next chef come close?
When we asked Jamie Stunt to take part in the Great Korean Cook-Off Canada edition, he jumped at the chance. Of course, Jamie is no stranger to competition, having been in the gold medal plates 3 times and having won at the national level. We're going to see what he comes up with now.
I've been in a lot of competitions, and what drew me to this one was I really love Korean food. I love the flavors, and I don't get to cook that very often right now, so I thought it'd be a fun opportunity, and I would love to win a trip to Korea. I love that they have really like bold flavors. I love the chili, I love the kimchi, I just love everything about it. I spent 2 summers in Korea when I was younger, and I fell in love with the food, so it's a fun opportunity. To come up with the dish, I just sort of thought back to a time I spent in Korea and some of my favorite flavors, and tried to come up with something that was incorporating all those, but also sort of my style of cooking and original. And hopefully the judges like it.
Jamie is the chef at Dish Catering, so he's at a disadvantage cooking in the borrowed kitchen at 268. Will that impact the outcome? Young-Suk Kim is the newly arrived director of the Korean Cultural Center here in Ottawa. He has just landed in Canada and finds himself in the middle of the Great Korean Cook-Off Canada edition. What did you think of Jamie Stunt's clams and pork?
I think he knows very well what is Korean food. His interpretation is very interesting. It's very delicious. I like it.
The flavors that you've tasted so far in the competition, do you think they would do well in Korea?
I think he could open a restaurant in Korea. He will well success in Korea.
When we come back, we'll still be eating, this time with renowned chef John Svavis. Stay tuned.
Each week on Real Talk with Sarah, I'm joined by experts in the field of wellness who share their expertise and guide us to optimal health of mind, body, and soul. Join me Sundays at 8 p.m. for Real Talk with Sarah on Rogers TV.
I'm Dylan Black. Join us for Daytime Ottawa right here on Rogers TV, Monday to Friday at 1, 6, and 11 p.m. As always, we'll have incredible musicians. We'll have the tastiest recipes from amazing chefs. We'll highlight local businesses and talk about incredible charity initiatives. Don't miss a second of what our community has to offer. When does it happen? Well, it happens Monday to Friday. We'll see you then, 1, 6, and 11 p.m. The show is called Daytime Ottawa. And of course, it's right here on Rogers TV.
Art Battle is live competitive painting done in front of a studio audience.
You have a little bit of fear and a little adrenaline.
I think you're battling yourself and you're battling time more than you're battling each other.
It opens up the process from the painter to the viewer.
Yeah, it's a battle. I'm about to go to war.
Annyeonghaseyo, welcome back. You can't eat in Ottawa without being influenced by John Svavis and his worldly take on food. He is Asian-inspired, world-inspired. Here at Fauna, Asian cuisine and their flavors infuse almost every dish.
So a few years ago, I went to New York and visited Hanjan, which was a Korean-style pub, a little bit more on the upscale side. And it was a really delicious, straightforward family meal with simple but really great ingredients, and that was my major influence for today's meal. Today I've done a pretty traditional Korean meal. We're doing a kimchi jjigae with the side plates. We are also doing Korean fried chicken, kalbi, and my take on japchae. The biggest challenge was making sure that I could sort of stick with the authenticity while still putting my own trademark on it with some local ingredients and more modern techniques.
Absolutely nothing back with his multiple dishes and modern approach. These judges are hungry, but will they be pleased? Sanana is one of our judges. She is the consulting chef at the Korean Embassy. She's Cordon Bleu trained, and she co-owns the Swan at Carp. Sana, what's your thoughts?
Oh, it was amazing. I was thrilled to be here, and then I had John's food, and it blew my mind.
What was the biggest innovation that really took your fancy?
He made kimchi powder from like frozen, dried. It was just amazing. You just had a little bit of powder, and it's just kimchi right there.
So going forward in the competition, you know, how is this going to stack up? Is this setting a benchmark?
Yes, I think every other chef gotta be careful about it. He made a pretty high bar right here.
If those smiles are anything to go by, John hit it out of the park. Who's up next?
Here we are at the Beechwood Gastropub, where Harriet Clooney has ruled the roost for the past 2 years. Her menu is all about farm-to-table and fresh vegetables, both of which are really important to Korean cuisine.
I love Korean cuisine, mostly because they cook like I cook. Perhaps different ingredients, but they cook with pickles and condiments and textures, and that is how I live by. My fridge is full of condiments, and my cooking is always full of pickles and ferments and different things like that, and I love Korean cuisine for that reason. The thing I had in mind putting together this dish is sort of a blend of my food and some traditional Korean dishes, but kind of blend them into one dish. So I'm big on vegetables, and they have lots of namus, which are little side dishes that are marinated vegetables, sometimes mostly steamed and then served cold. We marinated some beef, sort of in the bulgogi style, and pancakes, because I love Korean pancakes. When I was putting this together, I was really thinking about blending Korean flavors and style with sort of my style, taking a couple of traditional dishes and blending them into one dish.
Minister Park has been in Canada for 3 years. Who better to assess Harriet's grilled beef and pickled vegetables?
My first impression is it looks so nice, but the interesting is she made some Korean very traditional food made by some Canadian ingredients. So it mixed each other. So Korean bulgogi and then the Canadian ingredients. Very interesting.
I hope our judges have saved room because we have one more chef to visit.
Yeah, famous bro. 나 진짜 말짱해. 걱정하지 마. 진짜야.
When you say hidden gem, I always think of Amu's Kitchen Wine out here in Canada. It's a little place with big flavors, and they're our next competitor in the Great Korean Cook-Off Canada edition.
So I decided to get into the competition because as soon as I saw it come across, I knew Shane was going to be perfect for this. This is right up his alley, something he's so interested in, very knowledgeable. So I asked him, and immediately he said yes, and so here we are.
Well, I was really interested to hear that this came across the table. Obviously, it kind of throws some stuff into our repertoire and gives us the opportunity to showcase what we do and be part of a great event. I've been on a Korean kick lately with this competition coming up. I've been heavily influenced by everything that I'm doing and eating, so Korean food's on the map right now.
아침에 일어나 보니 너의 문자로 오타가 가득한 일기 마냥 휘갈겨놓고 도저히 기억이 안 나는 통화 시간 왜 이리 길고 드문드문 기억이 스쳐 지나갈 때마다 소리 지르며 이불킥 일이 사라진 메시지는 아직까지 답이 없어 이거 완전히 종일 맘을 놓지 못해 시간이 갈수록 괴로운데 침묵 속에 후회가 밀려와 손발을 묶여버린 나인데 비틀거리는 어지러운 내 맘 어색한 띵동 소리와 함께 실눈을 뜬 채 전화기를 열어봐
자꾸 했던 말을 또 해 baby 미안한데 진심이야 boy I love you so much.
If there's an underdog in this competition, it's Shane. Could he have a long shot to the top three? So, Sana, that was Shane Chartrand from Amu's Kitchen and Wine, and he brought out the big guns. What did you think?
Oh, as you say, it's amused. It was beautiful. As soon as I saw he made a kimchi consomme, my mind just blew. That's what I was looking for in here. And then he made beautiful short rib braised, and then he made beautiful chard. It just, everything comes naturally together, and he composed beautiful japchae. And I don't know what can I say. I was just amused. I'm amused.
That's awesome. So what would you say was the standout thing? Because when we were back in the kitchen, he really had studied up a lot about Korean cuisine.
Yes, he understood 5 elements, which is really, and then studied a lot about the cultures, really appreciate it. And I've admired how much studied and how much effort he put in it. And I'm just so happy to see the results.
Celebrate Ottawa is a collection of stories for, by, and about the people, places, and rich history that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Tune in Sunday evenings at 7:30. Spend a night in the Secret Garden at the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa's inaugural gala happening Thursday, August 29th. It'll be a wondrous casual evening. Amazing dishes crafted by Ottawa's top restaurants. Dancing to the Jackson Miles Band. Let your inner child shine with fun-filled activities as the sun sets over Mooney's Bay. Get your tickets and join us for a night in the Secret Garden.
This is why Superman works alone.
How many are there?
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Oh, God, that's good.
hands up 모두 다 같이 hands up
We are B-B-A-B-E-R-B-A. We are B-B-A-B-E-R-B-A. Performance lane.
Welcome back. Here we are at the Great Korean Cook-Off Canada Edition at the Korean Cultural Centre in Ottawa, where 50 People's Choice judges will pick the ultimate winner. But remember, only 3 of our 5 chefs have made it through. Let's find out who they are.
John took Korean cooking to the next level with his 5 banchan side dishes, his Korean fried chicken, freeze-dried kimchi innovation, and his kalbi beef. Too much? Not enough? We're going to find out.
Bass. 넌 나의 star, 넌 나의 sun, 넌 나의 moon. 세상을 다 가진 느낌. I feel good, I feel good when I'm with you. 넌 나의 rock, 넌 나의 gun, 넌 나의 rose. 감당이 안 돼.
With his boyish charm and amazing show-stopping cuisine, it's not hard to see why the judges loved his pickled carrot jelly with the rice paper hoop and all of the accoutrements. But will the people love it too?
망설여 바보같이 답답해 너 태도 그냥 좀 해도 돼 한 번쯤 미친 사람처럼 나도 알아 나도 못해 말하면서 어이없어 어려워 사는 게 아무것도 내 멋대로 안 돼
왜 안 되는지 내가 말 좀 해줘 그만해도 돼 세상의 잣된 남들에겐 그렇게 착하게 구는데도 왜 난 너에게 그렇게 야박해 You gotta love yourself more than anything in this world 너나 나 같은 멍청이들이 아직 많이 있어 그러니까
Shane is the virtual underdog here because even though he was on Chopped, he's not really well known in Ottawa. That's all about to change because he made it into the top 3 with his kimchi consomme, his beef, and his incredible japchae.
사람들이 움직이는 게 신기해 발다리가 앞뒤로 막 움직이는 게 손 크게 들이쉬면 갈비뼈 모양이 드러나는 것도 내쉬면 앞 사람이 인상 딱 쓰면 코를 쥐어 막는 것도 놀라워 Amazing 어릴 때 날 봐도 정보니
What do you think the response from the People's Choice judges is going to be?
I hear a lot of comments. Definitely a lot of people weighing in on what they've had, and actually I haven't said anything yet. I've been keeping quiet myself, which is always fun to do, writing my notes, and then go from there.
I think it's fantastic. Mark Lepin's dish, there are so many textures, like such a huge variety. It's super, he's known for being super innovative with food also. I think it's fantastic. And I really enjoyed the consomme from Amuse. Like you said, it's so clear and it was so fresh and flavorful. But wow, it's incredible. I'm thoroughly impressed.
How do you think people are enjoying what they're tasting so far?
I think they are amazed by what chefs prepared and how authentic the Korean flavor they can make as a Canadian chef. Obviously, they are top chefs, so what can I say? Well, it's just great.
손발로 막 치고 받고 두 다리로 공 차고 받고 했던 내 익숙하던 몸뚱아리가 나
How many people just love everything, right? So, considering that I didn't do any cooking, the only other person here who's actually going to go to Korea would be this guy.
이리저리 치고 굴러 떼굴떼굴 떨어지고 말 텐데 생명이란 건 참으로
two other chefs, John and Mark. Tough competition to beat. Everyone was super friendly. We all got along. It was all in good fun, and everybody had a great time. I really think it was great to give chefs the opportunity to kind of get right in their wheelhouse. It's like more so take these ingredients that are familiar in Korean cuisine and make them your own. And I think that's ultimately what made everybody's dish shine.
Was there something about the other two dishes that you were like, gee, I wish I'd thought of that?
Well, obviously Mark's plates were super sharp. He went the extra mile with the printed rice paper, which was a nice component. Obviously it's edible, his backyard garnish. And then John with the live charcoal and really sold the fresh made kimchi. You know, everybody had their own shtick, and luckily mine was the one that paid off. I feel like a winner. I feel fortunate. I feel lucky. Congratulate the other competitors as well, because it was literally a hair away.
And you're going to Korea now.
I'm going to Korea, yes. Can't wait.
I think it's going to be amazing, and culinary tour as well. What do you hope to take away from that?
You know what? Just embrace the culture. This competition was more so about taking our rendition and putting our flair on it, but I'm going to soak in that culture and be able to put that into my cuisine and my repertoire moving forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much, and
thank you.
Congratulations.
Pleasure,
Job
Julie.
well
Thank you so
done.
much.
Yeah, and you know, I guess we'll be doing it all again next year.
Can't wait.
이건 좀 누세 변해버린 것 같아 좀 이상해 우리 연애 온도가 넌 나를 보는데 웃기는 않는데 좀 보지 마 baby baby 다른 여자 하트 눌렀네 행두서 그러면 난 좋아.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Where did she come from? She's dressed black and white. She told me everything is gonna be alright.
If you want to do anything in television, here's the best place to do it because they're very hands-on. You see what goes on in the community that you might not normally see. They're people from our community, so they know and they have a heart for our community to step outside of our comfort zone and do more and learn more and take the opportunities, and then you can grow and use it. My name is Paul Bates, and I'm a volunteer at Rogers TV.
Join the pros as they take you to the best fishing spots in North America. It's the new Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
This is Rogers TV, Ottawa.
This program is brought to you by MLB Extra Innings, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. Follow the teams and players you want to watch.
Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Ben, and welcome to this month's episode of High School Happenings on Rogers TV.
To kick things off, we thought we'd try out some rugby. Let's send it out to the girls' opposite tier city championships between Glebe and St. Pete's.
What's up, sports fans? We're here at the girls' opposite tier rugby championships at Hillcrest. Glebe will be taking on St. Pete's. Let's go check it out.
Willow.
And Dax. So, how do you think the game went?
Today our girls played really hard and they put their heart and soul into it. And I don't think that we could have had a better outcome at the end of our season.
Fantastic. And speaking about the season, how did that season go?
We were a little disappointed with today, but overall it was a great season. We came in second. Our girls played really hard. It was really good last year for our seniors, so couldn't be more pleased with how it turned out.
Jesse and
Allie.
So Jesse, how did the game go today?
The game went really well. I think we set the tone really well at the beginning, scoring quite a few tries, and then by the end of the game we had all our girls on, so it was a good game.
Fantastic. And you guys are going to OFSA next week, so how do you feel about that?
We're all really excited. I mean, we've been looking forward to this all season. We think really this is the year we could medal at OFSA, so we're super excited to get there and play.
Well, best of luck. That's a wrap on the Girls OFSA Rugby City Championships with a final score of 48-17 for Glebe. Back to you guys.
Wow, what a great game.
Congrats to Glebe on their win. Best of luck at OFSA. Hey Ben, do you have any artistic talents?
I can draw a mean stick man.
Let's check out some real talents at the Maryville Art Show.
Thanks, guys. I'm here in the west end of Ottawa at Maryvale High School. Today, they're having their annual art showcase. This is an event where students from grades 9 to 12 can showcase their art that they've made throughout the year. Let's go check it out.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Canyas, and I'm a teacher here at Maryville High School. I teach photography and visual arts. So today is our visual arts art show, and it's a day in which we get to take all of the artwork from both semesters, from all disciplines, photography, graphic design, visual arts. We even have tech. We have our woodworking and our comm tech, and we take all of our work from all the different grades and we get to put it up on display for one amazing day so that the whole school and the community and family and friends can gather around and appreciate the work, the talent of our students here at Maryville.
Hi, I'm Irv Oster. I'm the Department Head of Fine Arts and Technology at Maryville High School. For kids that are involved with visual art, this is their day to stand in the sun and be counted. And we seem to have lots of avenues for kids that are good in sports to be recognized, and we have lots of avenues for kids that are good in academics to be recognized. But this day at Maryville is the day for kids that are good in the visual arts.
My name is Matthew Malcolm, and I'm a grade 12 SHISM graduate this year. I do a lot of vector artwork and a lot of smooth and really simple designs. I like to do a lot of logos and interactive media, like lots of video editing and other stuff like that. So the display that I have up this year encompasses a lot of the artwork that I've been collecting over the years, which really continues in the theme of me pushing my limits in graphics design and being able to express myself as well as I can.
Charlotte Watkins. I'm a grade 12 student at Maryville High School. I'm a part of the art show. Something that I'm most excited about the art show is all the diverse pieces. There's things that range from sculptures to pencils to colored pencils to paintings. It's pretty neat seeing every grade doing their own little project.
I'm Jada, I'm in grade 10. We had a ceramics project in my grade 10 integrated class, and we basically had to pick like a character, like either real or whatever, and make it in ceramic.
So my name is Savannah. I'm a grade 10 student here at Maryville, and I took integrated arts this year, and a lot of my stuff is in the art show. I worked with a lot of ceramics and different paints and stuff in Cluj Fair, a lot of photography, which was really, really fun and a new experience that was really, really cool.
So I'm a grade 12 student here at Maryville High School, and my art is featured in the art show. As a grad, I have my own little section that I set up, and the main theme behind all my art is identity and self-discovery. Because as a teenager, life is confusing, so I use my art and kind of just discovering who I was and using it as like a coping mechanism through different things that would happen in my life. And I think you can really see the evolution by looking at all my pieces.
Seeing all that amazing artwork and talent from the wide variety of students here sure was amazing. That's all from us. Now back to you guys.
Wow, what an amazing show. Congratulations to all the super talented artists at Maryville.
Stay tuned after the break where we get to Relay for Life.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to over 2,000 out-of-market regular season games, with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
I'm Paula Roy from Paula Roy's Favorite Foods. Catch my show each week when I'm going to share with you some of my favorite recipes to make your home cooking more fun and more successful.
Thanks, guys. I'm over here at Colonel By's Relay for Life, an event where students come together to raise money for the Canadian Cancer Society and cancer research. Let's go check out what it's all about.
Rose here at Colonel By's Relay for Life Executive Committee. And so for me, planning Relay, mainly my main job was to contact survivors and invite them to the survivors breakfast, while also gathering the necessary ingredients and supplies and preparing them the day before so that we could have a breakfast planned for the survivors that were coming on the day of the Relay event.
Yeah, and my name is Kelly. I am the finance executive for this year's Relay for Life. Essentially what we did was we collected the donated funds from all of the participants, and it's been really great seeing everyone get together, celebrate the amount of money that they've fundraised, and today has been a blast so far.
So I think Relay for Life is a great way to raise money for cancer, and it's a great way to all get together for a good cause, and it's really fun. I'm doing Relay for my aunt. She had cancer twice, and I know that a bunch of other people here know people that are close to them who had cancer.
So far Relay's been pretty fun. We had a lot of activities, a lot of games, ate a lot of food, and it's been really fun so far.
Well, same thing with me, except especially the singing in the background back there. It's beautiful. We've been connecting with other people, so it's been a wonderful experience here. Hope to see you out next year.
Relay for me means just standing up and supporting a cause and helping those who are less able.
For me, it means helping other people. For example, my grandmother, I'm just strengthening her memory.
Alright, so my name is Justin Vong, and I'm in charge of the event experience here at Colonel By's Relay for Life. And essentially my job is to organize, plan all of the different activities that go on, all the performances, and sort of just make the overall schedule. And this year has been super exciting because I've come up with a whole bunch of new activities to try and change things up and make it different and unique from previous years. And I think so far it's going well. The weather is not the greatest, but we're still making the best of it. So to me, Relay for Life is just sort of a reunion of all people and recognizing sort of the survivors and the people that have to face the effects of cancer and that are affected by cancer. And I really think that Relay for Life is great for awareness for people, and yeah, it's just a great opportunity for students to come together, celebrate, and make a positive thing out of cancer in trying to overcome it in the future.
Well, that's a wrap for today here at Colonel By's 2019 Relay for Life. Everyone had lots of fun, where we partied for a purpose. Now, that's all for me today. Let's send it back to you guys.
Congratulations on another amazing Relay for Life, Colonel By. This year raising over $102,000.
Now for another incredible event, let's send it out to Gloucester.
Thanks guys. We're here at Gloucester High School to check out their musical, Bring It On. Let's see what they're up to.
There is a main storyline about somebody being transferred to another school, starting a new squad, and competing at nationals. But there's also so much more. There's a little bit about friendship, and there's a little about trust. There's a little cheerleading, a little dancing. There's so much, and I think a lot of people will connect to every character.
It's actually pretty challenging. A lot of musicals that high schools do have like a school version. So the school version has some changed parts, some stuff cut out. This musical, there's no such thing as a school version.
I'd have to say One Perfect Moment, which was like my solo piece in the whole musical, because I really like relate to that. A lot of the lyrics in that song are my life, so it was really neat to connect with.
Now zoom in the lens on the rest of her friends as she stays.
say the cast makes it special. Like specifically Katie Murphy. She was a terrific person to play Ava. Oh my goodness, there was no person better. And like every single person collectively like just made this whole thing amazing.
I think it went absolutely amazing. We have had a couple rough run-throughs, and of course there's a little mistakes, but I'm not going to tell anybody because the audience didn't know, but I think it went absolutely amazing.
A lot of work was poured into this, but it took a lot of effort because at the beginning we didn't have like the strongest commitment. A lot of people were flaky, but they ended up coming together closer to showtime and we pulled something really great off.
So that makes it like really hard and really fun for the students to put on. So we have like 3 teachers and 4 students in the band because for the really hard parts, there's just basically no way we could expect a high school student or really anyone who wasn't a professional musician to pull it off.
Wow, that was a great musical. Thanks to Gloucester for letting us watch your beautiful performance. We hope to see more. Back to you guys.
What brought me here was the opportunity for me to expand my skills and professional career. I have the opportunity to do everything. By being here at Rogers, I can learn all these different things that will help me be stronger. Don't be afraid, because this is where you're going to gain the most valuable experience that you can use in your future. My name is Stacey McLean, and I'm a volunteer here at Rogers TV.
Each week on Real Talk with Sarah, I'm joined by experts in the field of wellness who share their expertise and guide us to optimal health of mind, body, and soul. Join me Sundays at 8 p.m. for Real Talk with Sarah on Rogers TV.
Wow, what a wonderful show.
What a truly incredible performance.
Let's send it back out to Gloucester to check out their music night.
Thanks, guys. Earlier this year, we went to Gloucester High School to check out their first performance of the school year. Today, we're here to see their very last performance, and we're here to see how much they've improved. Let's go check it out.
So I am an interim teacher here, which means I'm here just for the year, an LTO. I took over a position teaching percussion and the choir, and I've also started a musical here at Gloucester. Yeah, so we have a number of different groups, starting off with our junior band, which meet up twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. They're a mix of grade 9s and 10s. varying instruments. Most of them have never played before starting in grade 9, or they've come from schools that didn't even have music programs. So it's usually a very big step when they finish their first year and they come out with a concert like this. Oftentimes it's their second or third performance ever. We actually organize our bands so that the students who are in band also have to take grade 9 music. So every day they're getting fairly localized instruction on their instruments, and they're playing through repertoire and building their technique.
I oversee a lot of things. I'm like one of the presidents, the tri-presidents we call it. And essentially what we do is we run events, we get the music department involved, and we try to form it and turn it into like a family instead of rather just a bunch of people working to get credits. So I oversee concert preparation. I'm in charge of the script writing, and along with my other co-presidents.
Well, we've become closer as a band. It's definitely more of a family, of course, because when you start, you barely know people, and then by the end of it, we're like so tight-knit. And skilled too. Like, we've done competitions and stuff, and we've gotten feedback from like people that are prominent in the community, so we get some input from them and grow from that. We went to a music festival in Halifax, one at the NAC here, and we got, I think, silver and bronze at both of them, or one at each. So that was pretty cool. We have a jazz band, a rock band, strings, vocal. We have the concert bands for seniors and juniors. It's pretty extensive. It's whatever people really want to do.
So I started mainly with the guitar, but mainly this year, I've started to explore different type of instruments and approaches to music. The piece is called Manhattan by Eric Johnson. He's an American guitar player. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's toured with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, another other of the big names of guitar players. And I don't know, I just found the solos quite more. It's not about showing speed or virtuosity. I think it's a perfect balance between emotion and beautiful chords, beautiful melodies, and then mixing that with really pretty good technique.
I would definitely recommend anyone coming to this school in upcoming years, or any school on the board in general, to go into band. It's a great way to meet seniors and older students who have a lot more experience, and it's a great way to learn about what the high school experience will be like in advance. I also find it's a great opportunity to get an amazing skill, which is playing an instrument. It definitely opens your creativity gates and helps you learn and achieve a lot more.
Wow, they showed some great improvement, and it was a fantastic concert. Back to you guys.
What an incredible group of musicians. Way to go, Gloucester.
Well, that's it for this month's episode.
Thanks for tuning in
to High School Happenings
here on Rogers TV.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
We were born in Canada. We spoke English. On the streets, we weren't welcome. But on the field, we were the Asahi. Vancouver's champions. Everyone cheered for us. Our people had a voice. Then Canada declared war on Japan. They took us from our homes, called us enemies, forced us into camps. But we brought the game with us. Baseball helped get us through the internment.
The Vancouver Asahi were among the 22,000 Japanese Canadians interned during the Second World War. The team never played another game.
Do you love food and discovering amazing new restaurants? Join us on Ottawa Eats as we explore some of the best and most popular places to eat in the city. From fine dining to food trucks, it's going to be delicious.
Join the pros as they take you to the best fishing spots in North America. It's the new Fly Fisher on Rogers TV. Watch live coverage of Ottawa Champions Baseball on Rogers TV.
Celebrate Ottawa is a collection of stories for, by, and about the people, places, and rich history that make Ottawa such a vibrant place to call home. Tune in Sunday evenings at 7:30. Spend a night in the Secret Garden at the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa's inaugural gala happening Thursday, August 29th. It'll be a wondrous casual evening. Amazing dishes crafted by Ottawa's top restaurants. Dancing to the Jackson Miles Band. Let your inner child shine with fun-filled activities as the sun sets over Mooney's Bay. Get your tickets and join us for a night in the Secret Garden.
This is Rogers TV, Ottawa.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Then I thought, I'm gonna play a bossa nova rhythm behind it. But it's slightly strange and sounds different, you know. Finally, they noticed it was beautiful and they began to love it more and more.
This is a song I wrote for a musical called Phantom of the Opera, and it's a song called I'm Not As Bad As I Seem. Here we go. Well, I'm not a villain, I just do villain stuff. I may be a murderer, but twice was enough. No, I'm not a villain, I just wear a cape. It looks cool in the wind and protects me from the rain. Look in your heart and away from me. You'll see I'm the man of your dreams. Just disregard all the red flags and you'll see that I'm not as bad as I seem. Well, I'm not a villain, I just sound like one. Oh God, where'd that come from? Well, I'm not the villain, I just like singing like one. The more minor the chord, the more evil I become. I live in a sewer of mystery. Off to my lair we will flee. I'll bring you there and then force you to believe that I'm not as bad as I seem. Well, I'm not the villain, but I leave songs unresolved.
I see you from here. 7 days since we talked, I can see you forgot to wipe away those tears. And I know you'd take it back, and you know my eyes surprise when they see you and me, and it's not meant to be through all these untold lies. How was I supposed to know where I was meant to go? I took a different turn, yet still I never learned. I slowed down for a minute, take the time in my mind to see the light. Right now I'm headed nowhere, nowhere. And I know it's nothing new. Yeah, I know it's nothing new. Gotta figure it out if it's all I ever do. Ever do. Gotta figure it out, figure it out. A change is in the air. Why didn't I prepare? Much harder than I thought. I've given all I got. I slow down for a minute and take the time in my mind to see the light. Right now I'm headed nowhere, nowhere. And I know it's nothing new. I know it's nothing new. I gotta figure it out if it's all I ever do. Ever do. Gotta figure it out, figure it out. And people always tell me life is kinda strange. You don't know what will be tomorrow. I wish I had it in me to overcome the pain. How was I supposed to know where I was meant to go? I slowed down for a minute and take the time in my mind to see the light. Right now I'm headed nowhere, nowhere. And I know it's nothing new. I know it's nothing new. Gotta figure it out if it's all I ever do. Ever do. Gotta figure it out, figure it out. Thank you. Hard not to break down, but I'm overly sensitive to the sound of when my name spills at your mouth. Of when my name spills at your mouth. I think I really like this right now. It's getting better every weekend in town. Trying really kinda hard not to break down, but I'm overly sensitive to the sound of when my name spills at your mouth. And when you hold my hand in the crowd, makes me wonder when things will go south. And when you won't be down to get down. I think I really like this right now. It's getting better every weekend in town. Trying really kinda hard not to break down, but I'm overly sensitive to the sound of your heartbeat pumping on the dance floor. Makes my body real sweaty and insecure. I should find my shoes and hit the door, but you know damn well I'm going back to yours to memorize the curve of your mouth and how you hold my hand in the crowd. Makes me wonder when things will go south and when you won't be down to get down. I think I really like this right now. It's getting better every weekend in town. Trying really kinda hard not to break down. And when you won't be down to get down. I think I really like this right now. And when you won't be down to get down. I think I really like this right now. And when you won't be down to get down. And when you won't be down to get down.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. That was Head Street Werewolf. My name's Garbage Boy. Hope you liked it. Hope to see you soon. Happy birthday to my little brother.
This is a poem about the fact that there is a time for every which thing. And the important thing for us is to be always doing what we do to make something of ourselves and rejoice in our doing, because we don't know what will be in the hereafter. Ecclesiastes. Everything in its time.
Everything in its time.
And a time for every desire under heaven. A time to give birth. And a time to die. A time to plant. And a time to pull up what is planted. A time to kill. And a time to heal. A time to break down. And a time to build up.
A time to be.
A time to weep. And a time to laugh. A time to mourn. And a time to dance. A time to throw away stones. And a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace. And a time to be far from embracing. A time of expectation. And a time to let it go.
Let it go.
A time to treasure. And a time to throw away.
To throw away.
A time to tear apart.
To tear apart. A time to throw.
And a time to mend.
And a time to mend.
A time to be silent. And a time to speak.
A time to speak.
A time of love.
A time of love.
And a time for hate.
A time for war. To hate. Oh, time to hate. I'm sorry.
And a time of peace. What profit has anyone in their labor? I have seen the busyness that God has given to keep everyone busy. Everything
everybody busy.
God has made beautiful in its time. Eternity God has set in the heart of everyone, such that no one can discern God's doing from the beginning to the end. I know there is no good but to rejoice and to do good in life. Let everyone eat and drink and see the good of all their labor. This is the gift of God. I know that all that God does shall be forever. Nothing to add or take from it. The awesomeness.
The awesomeness.
What is to be has already been. And God expects all that follows. And I saw, as plain as day, in the place of judgment, there was wickedness. And in the place of justice, wickedness also. I said to myself, the just and the wicked God shall judge, for there is a time for every desire and every doing.
Every doing.
I said to myself, concerning the state of everyone,
there is a time
that one and the beast are one and the same. For the fate of the beast is the fate of everyone. As one dies, so dies the other. Each have one breath. All go to the same place. All is vanity. All come from dust, all return to dust.
All return.
For who knows, really, whether the spirit of one arises and the spirit of the other, the beast, descends into the earth. So, I say to you, there is nothing better than to rejoice in your doing. For who will see what shall be in the hereafter?
Is he going away?
Some may say that I gave up, knowing some may say I was tired, knowing I just couldn't keep running, had to step down for a while. And don't be mad, see I was tired, and I couldn't take back what I did years ago. That heart of mine, and don't be sad, see I was tired, and I couldn't take back what I did years ago. That heart of mine, and I know that just think that you needed somebody to. And I know that you needed somebody who knows that you needed somebody to hold when you're down. And I know that you needed somebody who knows that you needed somebody to hold when you're down. And I know somebody to hold on my mind. I know that you can't be mad, you just needed somebody to hold. Knowing some may say that I gave up, knowing some may say I was tired, knowing I just couldn't keep running, had to step down for a while. And don't be mad, see I was tired, and I couldn't take back what I did years ago, that heart of mine. And don't be sad, see I was tired, and I couldn't take back what I did years ago, that heart of mine. And I know that you needed somebody who knows that you needed somebody to hold when you're down. And I know that you needed somebody who knows that you needed somebody to hold when you're down. And I know that you can't be mad, you just needed somebody to hold on my mind. And I know that you can't be mad, you just needed somebody to hold. Thank you. Thank you.
Another day in my world without you. I found another, it's not the same. Forgot how to fight for affection. No energy to play this game. I'm sure soon enough something will change, and he'll get bored and drunk and make his way. As much as I knew it, I think I'd stay to get this thought of you out of my way. I do it to myself, I do it to myself. I can't help it, you're gone. I do it to myself, I do it to myself. I can't help it, I'm lost, and you're gone. Another night and I'm hoping he'll stay. Lonely written on my face. Sick of buying these drinks I hate. But I don't wanna go home today. I'm sure soon enough something will change, and I'll get bored and drunk and make my way. 'Cause it's the only thing I've known, how not to be alone. But I do it to myself, I do it to myself, I do it to myself. I can't help it, you're gone. I do it to myself, I do it to myself. I can't help it, I'm lost, and you're gone. do it to myself. I do it to myself. I do it to myself. I can't help it. You're gone. I do it to myself. I do it to myself. And I can't help it. I'm lost. And you're gone. I'm lost, and you're gone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm Jasmine Gallius. Thank you.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
It's my job to help you become the best version of yourself.
At Family Channel,
You're gonna rock this, all right? Give me hugs. Give me hugs.
Screen Time brings us together,
You guys are gonna be awesome.
That was great. I'm so proud of you.
inspires greatness,
Do you feel like you belong?
I belong now.
and is always just a click away.
You and me, we shake this town.
Family Channel. Screen Time, that's family time.
Each week on Real Talk with Sarah, I'm joined by experts in the field of wellness who share their expertise and guide us to optimal health of mind, body, and soul. Join me Sundays at 8 p.m. for Real Talk with Sarah on Rogers TV.
This is Rogers TV, Ottawa.
This program is brought to you by MLB Extra Innings.